Welcome back to the monthly call-in show, folks. Last call-in show of the 2023 year. I think we've done one every month since last year because our audience started to go up, but we're also 20 subs away from 1.7K. In other news, it's basically over for both of our New York teams as if they had any hope to begin with. So cheers, guys, to another season on the couch. In the off season, we're going to be doing the draft analysis. Luca, you're talking on mute.
All right, I made your mistake. You had playoffs last year. I wish we could play taps for this occasion. John, cheers to 13 years without playoffs. How old were you? Let's start off with this before introduction. John, how old were you when the Jets made the playoffs in 2011?
Well, let's see. 22,
9. You said 9.
Yeah, 22 now, 13 years.
I was 7.
9. So they've any chance from I guess teenage year or a little before that to now they've essentially what that means is they suck.
Incompetence.
Yes.
Love the incompetence. But anyway, we'll throw the link out in a few minutes. What's up to Eric? We got Jacob. We got Armand. We got Max. We got Daniel. We got Jocelyn. We got Jose. Jets are officially eliminated from playoff contention with the Texans win. The Titans are officially eliminated from playoff contention with their loss to the Texans. Hit the like button, people. Absolutely. What's up, Armand? Depression is the feeling that best describes this season for the Giants. Well, it's not all depressive, The tank is back. We're back, Wait.
Our tank is back.
Mm-hmm. Our tank is back too.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back. Classic. We are back. We are back.
Back to rooting for losses. That's me, at least. I know these guys too. What's up, Andrew Lucero from Twitter?
What's
appreciate
up, Andrew?
it. And again, I know there's some people that's going to be going on Twitter. For some reason, I can't post the link, this call-in link to Twitter. But if you want to go on YouTube, it'll be there and all that sort of good stuff. But if you want to ask questions, there's also a chat on Twitter. By the way, boys, appreciate all your thoughts and prayers over the last few days. No problem.
Yeah, I hope your family's doing well, Jim.
Yeah, same. Hope so.
Good evening, fellas. Are we celebrating? Are we at the point where Luca and John were celebrating losses?
Listen, you know what? We're at pick 5. So you know what? I'm happy for the loss.
You guys will eventually vacate that, and I'll tell you why in just a second. I have a philosophy. Sup to Scott. It's a failed tank, though. I want to read a tweet that kind of actually details this a little bit. What's up to Grega? I have 3 surprises for when I call in. The Jets have the 6th pick and the Giants have the 7th pick, according to Tankathon. What's up to Barb? Today was leg down. I had high hopes for the Giants, but, the Giants in a lot of these situations love to damper people's hopes, and that's why I picked the New Orleans Saints. But I want to get to a few things before we open up the panel. Some of the callers in the chat. So that was the first thing I was going to say. I don't remember. But the second thing I was going to say is there's a tweet. And me and this guy go back and forth in a good way. He's a good follower of mine. I'm a follower of his, whatever. And he had a nice tweet. And I kind of agree with it. It's going to be like something you agree with down the line because we all know the Tommy DeVito story and, all that sort of good stuff, right? But this guy on Twitter, he said, hard to make dum-dums understand nuance on Twitter. When fans are excited about getting a top draft pick, there was zero assumption that the players would tank. And by the way, I never said that the players should tank, by the way. I kind of created an oxymoron of competitive losses. Nobody serious would say that. Hope you guys enjoyed your Tommy Cutler shirts. Great story, but it cost us in the long run. That could honestly be true. So there's that. And
what type of quarterback you get?
Yeah, that's what it depends also as well. Even though DeVito's Superman say this all goes on the awful O-line. He missed some throws too, but the O-line was pretty fucking garbage.
His pocket presence wasn't that good either.
Yeah. Wasn't Superman. Daniels has the highest upside of a class QB-wise. Max, not sure if it's a failed tank if we get Daniels. The thing I was going to say is, look, so right now the Giants are at 7, the Jets are at 6. I think the Commanders are at 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you're right. You're correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna look up Tankathon draft order.
I remember. So it's because I was looking this up right after all the 1:00 games happen. Right now, it is off the top of my head. Let's see how good my memory is, even though it's usually Garbo.
All right,
the Bears because of the Panthers.
Right.
The Patriots, Cardinals, Commanders at 4. Then the Bears with their own pick at 5. Then the Jets. Then the Giants. And then after them, it was Vegas.
Let's see. I mean, you got the first 7 right.
Okay, I
Next
got the
is
first
Chargers. But I will say this, right? The Giants will be, if they lose the next 3 games, they will go down in the order because they're 2 teams. There's some teams that play within the stretch, right? The Commanders and the Jets. One of those teams is going to win. Unless you guys tie, and that's next week. Oh, Merry Christmas, guys. And then the Bears play Arizona at some point, and the Bears, their upcoming schedule, they got Arizona, Atlanta, and Green Bay. So they could win one of those games. Which hopefully, and also hopefully the Jets would. So the Giants could potentially be at 4. Potentially. I'm not saying that they will, but they potentially could be at 4 at season's end. Kyler, what's up? I don't regret DeVito helping us win 3 games. Players play to win or we'd be in trouble. Yeah, no, listen, I created the oxymoron of competitive losses. No way possible were they going to go out and lose. Rodgers playing next week. I think Daniels is a little reach at top 5. Chargers 7, Washington 4. Bless you, Alex. I want Daniels, but he may go before 7. We'll see. In Tech and Thoughts mock draft, the Jets select Joe Alt and Giants select Gene Daniels. We need the Bears to win today. They were this close to winning. If anyone saw that last play, I mean, John, did you see that last play?
I'm sorry, I was watching the Ravens Jags. And you of what the
Bears game?
Yes, I did.
Call in after done eating. Also, as well, and this is kind of like, and I know this is not going to be like big controversy or whatever, all that stuff. But so there's a pizzeria, and Armin sent this in the chat. It was a tweet by Darren Rovell. There was a pizzeria that wanted, Tommy DeVito to come in and promote our stuff and all that stuff. So they went from $10,000 to $20,000 in terms of the asking price for Tommy DeVito to not the pizzeria, but the DeVito, the DeVito brigade. And I'm thinking to myself, today was a fucking crash course. Today was like everything coming back to reality. And this was one of the games where I feel like the Giants would come back to reality, but that's definitely like I get it. The whole thing with what's the Italian dude? Fuji. Right? Fuji. My bad on the mistake. But Fuji, right? He did the things there. He got all the social media attention, but now I don't know if anyone's going to want him after these few weeks. Personally, me. And this is not me being salty. It's just being truthful. $20,000 for a backup quarterback. Should have just taken a $10K. How many O-line men should we draft? I'd say 2, definitely. Like 2 you could probably get one in the second round. You got 2 second-round picks. You got a third-round pick. Motherfuckers thought we were making the playoffs. Dumbasses. I never said. I know Almighty's not saying that I said that, but I never said that. Don't mind Daniels. Oh, yep. Rooting for the Bears on red zone. It was hilarious. Such a Bears play. Almighty, he is the Richardson of the draft. Take 2 in free agents. Well, the Giants will need 3, I would assume. And let's hit that like button, folks. Let's get to. I don't know if my YouTube page is bugging, but we only got 1 like so far. We got a lot in the chat, so hit the like button. But any what the hell are you doing? Who the hell?
I don't even know. This man is doing.
Look like a chimp.
He looks like a Teletubby.
I'm gonna throw the call-in link in the chat. See who we got. I'm also waiting to see if Afram comes on.
We'll see who comes on.
Hold on. Can I do it since the Jets got eliminated today?
Oh no.
Up, he's putting. I know what he's going for. I knew it. Yep.
This is what we've come to, guys. All right, Mickey.
I can't do a Mickey voice, so don't ask me to.
All right, Luca and John, do you have a preference between Penn State kid and Joe Alt?
I have to look more at the Penn State kid, but I really do like Joe Alt. He's possibly a prospect that we will definitely break down in the future when we do our prospect breakdowns.
Of course.
So, but Joe Alt is really a fucking his technique is really good.
Told you we'll try. I want Daniels in the first round, Xavier Worthy in the second round, and a lineman or another pick in the third round to take edge. Imagine Luca, next employer, watching him with that.
Well, I'm already hired. I just don't want. I don't know how people would from my job would react seeing me in this.
Yeah,
They'd
they'd be
probably
like,
want, they'd probably
they'd be-
want me to come to the cash register wearing this tomorrow.
they'd be like, hey, those Mickey ears. You know, are you like the president of a fan club or something?
Am I a part of the Mickey Mouse Club?
Yeah.
I mean, you are
Yeah, if you watch the New York Jets.
Notre Dame. But also, I put the call and link in the chat, by the way. What was I going to say, though? We do have a big announcement tomorrow on the show. And we also got some interesting content on the show, too. We're not going to say what that is. We're not going to promote it until it actually happens tomorrow. But we also got the general sports talk that we'll come at you with tomorrow, because I know we'll definitely be talking a lot of Jets football.
Yeah, no, we're not. Spoiler alert, we're not talking Jets.
And
I don't plan on it because, as I said to John in the pre-show, every point that I want to make now and John wants to make now, we said weeks ago, and otherwise we'd be fucking repeating ourselves, just like we did with the Yankees. But there's something new with the Yankees. So you know what? That's what we're talking about. That's Yamamoto. We'll talk about this tomorrow. Fucking Jets, fuck themselves.
right, Luke, we're going to be cutting beef with that shit on.
Wait, hold on. I work at the register. I don't cut beef, my guy. When I am I applying the coupons with the Mickey Mouse thing on? Am I applying the coupons, adding the paid stickers, checking out items?
Guys, go ahead.
I want to jump over the Jets for draft position. It's very possible. Very much possible.
I hope not.
Very much possible.
I hope not. But
You have the higher strength of schedule, so I'm not sure.
Well, no, if you guys will win one of these games.
we're hoping we don't. We're hoping we lose.
Well, listen, either the Commanders game or the Patriots. These next 3 games are winnable for you guys. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, for what fucking purpose?
Listen, if you guys win against the Browns, the Patriots, that's a good thing. And
It's gonna be Alex. Can we be completely transparent here? It's gonna be fucking Zach Wilson versus Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco has played well this far, so you know what? I hope Joe Flacco crushes Zach Wilson or Trevor Siemian.
yeah, that's right. They went to Simeon today.
Yeah.
Question from Kyler says, "Are we screwed if Wink doesn't come back next year? We won when our defense had great games." Yeah, that's definitely true. Today, my only thing was that they played a lot of zone defense, and that opened up the middle of the field for the Saints. And Pete Carmichael was coaching circles around the Giants.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
You know what, guys? So we have a big chat tonight. Make sure you hit that damn like button
Mhm.
and sub if you're new here. Okay, sub if you're new. All right, and share out, or unless you go in the damn book. But do all the good stuff, folks. Come on.
Yeah, thank you, Almighty. They're going to win against the Commanders. Let's go.
I really hope not. I
You got
really
a
hope
Christmas
not.
present, John.
Bro,
Oh,
I'm not
what?
gonna be watching this team next week, most likely, and I thank God I won't be.
Well, it's not a Christmas present. It's a damn shame. That's what it is. Damn
It's a
shame.
damn shame. But anyway, we do have our first caller
Would you
in the
get that from
building.
the office, John?
What happened?
Would you get that from the office?
No.
I don't know. I just remember because it was. I think they were playing that one. It was the Office episode where they were playing that one basketball game, and Michael was like, "It's a damn shame." And I don't know. I just thought of that because you're an Office fan.
No, that was just saying it's a damn shame. No correlation there. No
But,
correlation.
What's up to Mr. Brad in the chat? Hey, Alexa, Feeble Princess Luke, I have 2 things to say. How about the Cowgirls losing?
Oh
And
boy,
bang,
if
bang,
Sunil
bang.
That was a bad. I thought that would be the really best bet. Although it's funny, I got a push Browns and Bengals, the Jets Dolphins money line. The Jets Dolphins under hit, and so did that Bills Cowboys. So not a bad day at all. It's just the Cowboys one was the only one that I really
The
thought.
money line.
Yeah, no, they fooled me. They fooled me.
Yeah. Kyler says Joe Beningo and Evan Roberts love winning meaningless games.
But hey, listen, Joe Beningo was for winning that game that cost us Trevor Lawrence. So you have a point.
All right. But with that being said, we're going to go to our first caller of the night. And his team plays tomorrow against the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's Mr. Jose, who's a Seahawks fan. What's up, Jose?
What's up, bro?
Look, 50 years like You look better.
Yeah, you look better with the ears back on.
All right. I guess for Jose.
Got a fan request. Put the ears back on, man.
Most like
Or
a man.
the fin for the outfit.
I have a surprise for tomorrow. I just won't say what it is.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm
Awesome.
afraid to ask.
Jose, we hope that the holidays are going well for you, man.
Thank you. They are. They are. They would be better if they just had lost last week to the Texans. I wanted to tank.
We all
And then
did.
they go and win a meaningless game and get blown out. Alex, shut up. Hey, Alex.
He told you.
Hey, Alex.
Yes.
How's Kim?
How's
He
what?
said it. He said, "How's Kim?"
Very funny, Jose.
That's what you get.
Usually you would expect someone like Jacob to bring that up in chat first, but it's Jose.
Jose brought it up the other night, I think.
Yes. Yes. I see. And after big giant sack, Lucas said, oh my God, what a sack. And I typed in the chat, that's something Kimberly never said. I'm going to hell. I am going to hell. I'll see all of you there. What? Alex, how are you doing? How are you doing?
How am I doing? I mean, well, today was a win-win because if the Giants won, they'd be in very decent playoff position, and if they lost, well, it's continuing the tank like we did so many weeks ago.
And are the Yankees gonna do anything besides Juan Soto in the free agency?
Well,
on
today
defense?
I
Are
think it
they
was.
Are they gonna get pitching of any kind? I'm just wondering.
Well, I'd like them to get some pitching as well, but they did meet with Yamamoto today. But here's my issue with that: is that Yamamoto requested it. Why weren't the Yankees outgoing to go and I see that. I see that shit, John.
I didn't say or do anything.
Don't play that game,
Listen. My owner personally flew out last week or 2 weeks ago, and then they had a nice dinner at the owner's house for round 2 of meetings. That makes me very happy.
John, is he signed?
He's not
Is
signed
he
yet.
next? So shut up.
I'm getting told to shut up now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So next, Luca is next for the shut up line.
Yep.
Yes. I haven't said anything bad though. That's the good thing.
Yet you haven't said anything bad yet.
Yeah.
Still time.
Grab the vintage dress and I'll tell you to shut up. It's a joke.
Yeah, we know.
No, we know.
I know, but the people in the chat don't know. Bring on Nickelback in them. I'll tell you to shut up.
We're not doing this Nickelback stuff. We're not doing this Nickelback stuff.
Tomorrow, that surprise that Luca was talking about, he's gonna sing "Photograph" in the Mickey Mouse outfit.
No, I am not. I don't.
Yeah, he really wanted to. That's Jose's Christmas wish.
Do that and I will leave it. Hey, a super chat.
He's gonna leave a super chat. Come on, you're gonna
He's
deny us
He's
that?
gonna technically pay us for you to do.
Come
it.
on, Luca. Take one for the team.
I don't have a Mickey Mouse outfit. I only have the ears.
That's kind
Okay,
of
so just wear the ears and sing it.
Why do I have to sing somebody I don't like listening to?
Because it's funny.
Bro, I already made my bed the one time that I had to listen to Nickelback back in fucking April when it was the when the Knicks were in the playoffs
He also
Oh,
made a
what?
dumb bet of removing your
Teeth,
teeth.
with pliers.
pliers.
I don't know why you ever made that
Wait,
bet.
what?
Yeah,
Wait,
okay.
what-
All right,
Luca,
I'll explain
inform
it
the
for,
audience.
Wait,
What's up?
wait,
By the way,
wait.
what's up to Miz in the chat?
What's up? I'll explain
Again,
to
folks,
Jose.
the call-in link is pinned.
I'll explain to Jose. So Jose, I was talking with not Afram, I'm sorry, Armand. I was talking with Alex, talking with John, and I said if Nathaniel Hackett. Now I don't really think I'm going to follow up on this, or at least I don't think it'll happen. But if Nathaniel Hackett would be the head coach of the Jets with Aaron Rodgers on the team, I would take out my teeth with pliers.
Live on air.
You are going to do that within the next 2 weeks.
I don't know if it would be the next 2 weeks because I don't think they're going to fire Salah.
I do.
Wow, there's a little bit of optimism from Jose.
I see, Jose. I wish I had your optimism, but
Luca also wishes they would have gotten the Chargers treatment.
yeah, I was polling for the once it was 30-0, Jose. I was like, score fucking 50 on this squad. I want Salah and Douglas and Woody Johnson to be fucking embarrassed. It beat
I
the
agree.
ever living shit out of them. I want Mike White to throw 7 touchdowns against this team.
So
I don't
did
give 2 fucks.
Neither did I. I agreed with you.
Also, as well, John said that Lamar Jackson was going to throw 240 touchdowns today.
I did
No,
accidentally
yeah.
say that, yes.
Question is, could Mike White throw 240 touchdowns against the Jets?
If you gave him time.
Yes.
Yeah, this wasn't a popular bet of mine. Didn't necessarily go too well.
No,
Oh,
wait. Pull that back up.
I'll explain. So, when Isaiah Kiner Falefa was
Oh my
traded to
God.
the Yankees, he was not a home run hitter. So I went on NYY News TV. It was NYY News TV at the time, and I said, "You know what? I bet I'm going to lose my virginity before this guy hits a home run." That has not happened, so that's a failed bet. But hey, you live and you learn, and at the end of the day, I would kind of
Why do we say? Why do we? And I'm putting myself in this equation here. Say the shit we say live on the internet with people watching. Why?
because it's I guess in that argument it's entertaining. And also, by the way, it's not as bad as Lucas.
Or because we're idiots. Or because we're idiots. You decide, chat. I'll let the chat decide.
True.
The Jets are going to lose out. The Giants are going to. Who do you play next week, Alex?
We play the Eagles on Christmas. We play the
Yeah.
Rams, and then we play the Eagles again.
They're going to lose out too.
Good. Big fat L.
Has Lamar Jackson takes a sack. Merry Christmas, guys. Love you. Love you guys.
Merry-
I'm out. Peace.
Merry
Peace out,
Christmas,
Jose.
Jose.
Merry Christmas, Jose.
All right. So we got a loaded back studio, by the way.
Ooh.
I do want to we've had this guy on before. I do want to get him on before we change it up in terms of like team fans and stuff like that. I want to welcome on Mr. Vinny.
What's up, Vinny?
What
Thank
is
you for
up?
coming on.
Gentlemen, before I say anything, I just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody
Thank you,
before we
man.
get into the reality of the situation with the Jets fan base. Where does it end with this franchise? Where does it end? Now, I wasn't one of these fans that let them suck me in once again last week when they put out the 34, 35 different playoff scenarios that all we have to do is win, get help from Team X, Team Y, a tie possibly here. Listen, we don't have a real head coach. We don't have a quarterback. We don't have a general manager. We have probably arguably the worst owner in the league. This guy should have been fired on the field after the game today.
I agree with you.
Today. I mean, what are we doing here?
Today was a colossal embarrassment, Vinny. And I was in your space for a little bit. We were watching. I'm like, I swear to God, I hope Mike White throws for like 4 touchdowns versus this team, but they let him run the ball. So
it's just it's mind-boggling. And here's the thing too, with the season ticket holders, all you clowns out there that were trying to come at me on Twitter or whatnot, please explain to me why everyone should go to the game on Christmas Eve, freeze, and watch a team who has nothing to play for against another team who has nothing to play for. Just tell me why it doesn't make me a fan if I'm not there Sunday on Christmas fucking Eve, mind you. There's nothing to play for. There's nothing to look forward to. If I'm the owner right now, I would fire Saleh, make Ulbrich the interim coach, and I would say we're playing all the third stringers the rest of the way. I want to see what they have, just to ensure that the tank. And don't tell me other teams don't do that. Hell,
of course, I know
Miami got caught doing it, but I mean, you can't tell me that we should win any of these games at all. It doesn't help the long-term success of the franchise. But again, I have zero faith in Saleh. I have zero faith in Douglas. I don't want Douglas picking another quarterback for this team. Absolutely
100%.
not. But the reality is they're bringing all these clowns back next year. They are. Because I don't know if you guys follow Super Bowl odds online, but with Rodgers back on this team, I don't know how this is even fathomable, but they still are ranked between 6 and 8 of, most likely to win the Super Bowl next year. Then that's just because of the Rodgers effect. I don't buy into that crap. The reality is Rodgers can go on another darkness retreat. He might wake up in the middle of May or June and say, you know what? Football's not for me. And by the way, you guys are still on the hook to pay me all that money for the next 2 years. It's scary how he truly has us by the balls.
100%. Again, everybody's coming back next year, which, again, we made all these points a couple of weeks ago. The points are still there today. As Armin asked, would Saleh have been fired if Pats won today's game against the Jets 30-0 instead of the Finns? I mean, it's tough because in any other organization, they would have been fired by now. Either fired by now or ensured to be fired by the end of the season. Because what the Jets did was fucking excusable after Rodgers went down. They essentially said, we'll mail in the season, this, and this. And it's funny because fans were, clowning other fans for saying, oh, you guys wanted Josh Dobbs. You guys wanted Ezra Cleveland. Well, we don't want
Legia Douzable.
Yeah, Leger Douzable, the company man he is for fucking SNY. Fuck him too. But anyways, like these fans, I have a hard time, empathizing with the fans who go out there and say, you know what? The season was over when Rodgers got hurt. No, the season was over once you decided Zach Wilson was the quarterback fucking too. This man up here called it. He said after Rodgers got hurt, as I'm referring to Professor Angry John to my top, he said, you know what? I told everybody. I know he's not really much speaking right now because he doesn't really want to hear this. I told everybody, with Zach Wilson as the quarterback, this team's going fucking nowhere. And this man, above me, was fucking right. The Jets did organizational malpractice by the head coach, the general manager, and they both deserve to be fired. But we have Aaron Rodgers waiting for us. And Vinny, I got to be honest with you. I think you have this viewpoint too, and so does John. I would rather just start a fucking rebuild, personally. Tear everything down. It's useless.
If you're Woody Johnson tonight and you're sitting in your owner's suite and you just saw this disaster tonight, how are you not on the phone with Jim Harbaugh and get him on an overnight flight on a red eye to Florham Park tonight to save the franchise? I mean, you can't. I know they're going to come back next year. That's what.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not even looking forward to next year. I'm looking ahead to 2025 when the new head coach comes in. Because if there's nobody's picking the Jets to win a Super Bowl next year with Rodgers coming off of an Achilles at 41. He's going to be 41 next year. Nobody's picking us to do that. If they don't win the whole thing next year, which they're not going to do, they blow the whole thing up. And you can't sell me on another first-time guy. I don't want to hear any bullshit about Ben Johnson. Yes, I believe he'll be a good head coach somewhere. I do believe that. But for this fan base right now where we're at a crossroads, you can't throw another, hot-handed coordinator. You need an established guy that's going to command authority. And if Jim Harbaugh is out of your price range, I would even entertain Bruce Arians. And, I got another name out here for you. I forgot to mention another time I spoke to you guys. It's not the sexiest name. I don't think Jim Caldwell would be the worst candidate. I really don't.
I'll give you one better who might be on the hot seat. I don't think he will be. Mike Tomlin.
See that I would be all over Mike Tomlin to come here. The thing is, Pittsburgh, I think they've had 3 head coaches in team history. They don't fire anybody.
It wouldn't be.
It never happens.
it wouldn't be the Steelers way as John puts up 13th year as in third. You know what? Before
You guys are
before-
teenagers.
what's up to Jemiah? Before we get to Jemiah, Vinny, how old were you when the Jets last made the playoffs?
13 years. I'm bad at math here. Probably
It's
24. 24.
It took me a little too. I was 9 and
I was 7.
he was 7. So
24. I had no wife. I had no kids. I had no mortgage. Life was good.
I was playing in the schoolyard in elementary school. That's what I was doing.
Things were a lot simpler back then. But
Yeah.
Jemiah says fire solid Douglas Hackett. I honestly don't mind.
No,
I don't
you-
think Zach- I don't think Zach-
I'm going to say this: you could throw Zach with them too. You could
Zach
throw
definitely
throw
a
everyone
recruiter here.
together at this
Well,
point.
let me just say this about Zach to you. I'm sure you'll agree with me on this point. When that whole BS came out with him going into the locker room because of hydration, and then his head hurt, then his neck hurt, but then they were saying he was
They just can't. I said it like a week or two ago. They cannot lose
No,
quietly.
he
Just-
told them he didn't want to go out there.
Just
You know
shut up and lose. Why
But
don't hold up. There is 32 teams in the NFL. When all 31 other teams in the NFL lose, they're able to just lose peacefully, okay, and just stink peacefully. But with the Jets, they just have to add something else. Whether it's little Zach, I'm dehydrated, I don't want to play, or Wawa Becton, smiling after a
Oh my
loss,
God.
or Garrett Wilson, arguing like, just shut up and lose.
No, but honestly, all
hard.
joking aside, with Zach, I think that's the last time you're going to see him in a uni on the sideline or even in a game. I think that was it. That's it. The Commanders game, I think you guys are going to see. I think Simeon plays the rest of the way, and they're going to dress Rippin as the back.
Just play Rippin. Let him lose.
That's it.
Jemiah,
But,
I
you
want to
know.
get to Jemiah real quick. He says, I think Zach is salvageable. I
No.
got to ask you, in what way? In what way, personally? It's just
No,
a
it's
very-
not even. Look, I'm not even debating whether it's a concussion, Jemiah. That's not what I'm debating.
The Jets
I'm just
changed the
saying-
injury status like 3 times.
That and
I'm sorry
that's
to
not the
interrupt,
first-
John. I'm sorry to interrupt. I heard this at the press conference. Salah said he didn't know about the process in which the
He
injuries
doesn't know
are
how
diagnosed.
I said. What did I say weeks ago? He doesn't know how to tell what injuries are. It's concerning. As a head coach,
it's not just a Salah thing. It's been a Douglas thing for the past couple of years. You go back to Mosley, 29.
Now, I don't know. I don't know the. Forgive me. I don't know exactly where Robert Salah started in his career.
I think it was Seattle or
Was it
Jacksonville.
Seattle or Houston, one of them. He was
Seattle
in
or
Jacksonville too.
It doesn't matter because the point I'm making is at like some point when you start, doesn't someone teach you how injuries work or like the process of like, hey, like this guy's hurt, let's not play him, or this guy has a hit to the head. It's not a knee injury. Does someone not tell him that? Because it seems like he's confused every time. Jesus, I'm getting hot.
He makes himself look like an ass every
It
time.
was literally, I'm recalling a moment here before Luca goes back. We had video on the one time. John was literally talking about the Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed injuries.
diagnosing
Illness,
illness as a concussion.
concussion.
Yes, that's what I said. I said it like I don't remember when that had to be 2 months ago.
That was after the Raider game, I think.
No, that was during. It was the Eagles game. It was the Eagles game. That
No, that's
weekend.
when it happened.
No, I'm talking about your rant. Your rant.
Oh,
That was probably after the Raider game. But Jemiah says Zach Wilson is talented. He has an arm. He can play. He's tough. He takes. But where's that talent though? There's been
okay.
3 years. 3 years.
I'll say this: he is maybe physically tough, but mentally he's a weak athlete because he's ready to quit. And no matter how bad it is, I understand the offensive line is. The offensive line is horrific. Mekhi Becton. I saw the tweet from. I think it was
Connor Hughes.
Connor Hughes, who ended
Not
up
Hughes.
leading it.
not Hugh, someone else tweeted that like Becton's given up like 11 sacks this year, which is the most of any tackle. And I'm like, I
Laughing after the game about it.
Yeah, he's laughing at the game, so that's great. And I understand that Joe Douglas doesn't know what he's doing either. I understand that. I understand he's a moron. But nevertheless, like if you're Zach, right, if you want to get another shot with the team, quitting or making it seem like you're quitting isn't like really showing toughness toward other teams, because I'm sure he still wants to play football. He just not want to play it for the Jets. Now, I'm sure he'll get another chance somewhere to be a backup in this league because you're like a top 5 pick or even a top 2 pick and you move, we see it all the time. Teams are going to pick you up unless you've committed some heinous crime from now until when you sign your next contract.
Right.
He's going to get another chance with somebody.
Unless
It's
he's
just not with
completely
us.
Josh Rosen.
Oh
Right.
God.
But
Rosen
he
even got a second chance. He went
even
to
got a second chance.
He went to Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I said this on the lounge the other night. I think an ideal trade partner to just ship him out of the conference altogether will probably be Arizona. For those of you that don't know, Arizona actually has 13 draft picks as we speak. And Kyler Murray gets hurt all the time. He's got a very similar play style to Zach Wilson. So, I mean, if you could somehow swindle a day 2 pick, maybe a couple of day 3 picks, ship him out, get something for him. But, I mean, don't just let him walk scot-free.
Jemiah says Zach is getting better and better reading defenses. Are we relying on Jemiah? Are you talking about the one game last week against the Texans? Because that's just an outlier to how, that's one game surrounded by multiple games of shit.
Well, hold up. Go to his next comment because he says, "How do you know he quit?" Well, Jemiah, Vinny.
Vinny, I think, disconnected on accident.
Okay, well, if he does, Vinny, if you want to come back, you can come back because I know we're still having this conversation. But Jemiah, here's the thing: dehydration just doesn't get, thrown out there by reporters, right? It had to come from somewhere. No one just made it up, right? And now if they did, I stand corrected. But the report had to come from somewhere. Someone had a source that said it wasn't a concussion at first. So that's not really quite a stretch. And also considering the week before that, there was literally him saying it got leaked, saying he did not want to play.
Some fans won't even believe that
because he didn't want to get injured, even though Aaron Rodgers got injured.
I wonder where all those Jets fans are from last week that were defending him after the Texan game, saying, "No, we want him back as QB2." See,
celebrating the win.
The curb. See,
nope.
He had a good half of football, not even a good game. It was a good half in rain.
And I've also seen that. What was I going to say?
Here's the problem, Jemiah. That's what they listed it as.
I saw the play, Jemiah. I'm not saying he didn't get hit in the head. What I'm saying is there had to be the dehydration report didn't just come from somewhere. It wasn't just brought out of thin air. Someone had to have said that.
The Jets changed the injury designation 3 times.
Something's wrong. An hour or 2 hours later. But here's the thing, though. Here's
no, a concussion and a dehydration are two completely different things.
They're two different things, but that doesn't excuse all the other games that Zach was bad.
Yes, that too.
We know he has talent. It's just a matter he hasn't shown it yet.
Yeah,
it's 3 years.
He's at 30+ starts.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this: the Jets know how to parade him around, and parade him around like a fucking supermodel with all these BS articles that the beat media puts out. Remember, the Jets wouldn't go after Carson Wentz because they believe in Zach Wilson. They wouldn't go after this guy because they believe in Zach Wilson.
Even before Luka, we've gone through the list again, tens of thousands of times since March.
Yeah. Backup quarterbacks. We went through it 1,000 times. Zach needs to be the water boy on any pro team. He's a bum. Maybe water boy's too good of a job for Wilson. Mike with a little insight. Alex is doing his Will Levis, showing off those guns. Armin says Zach's only talent is his Riz game to get MILFs. Let it out, Luke. I mean, Miz, to be fair, he and I were talking the other night because Alex was in the car with him after the Giant game. But I let out all my anger. I still have some anger inside me.
But here's the problem.
I'm just me, like this guy above me and this guy to technically my right. We're all apathetic. We know this shit was going to happen. I wasn't one of those fanboys on Twitter, as Vinny brought up, like, we could bring back Zach Wilson next year. Maybe if we just win versus the Miami Dolphins, Aaron Rodgers can go back. All the fanboys,
all the people doing the chicken dance and all that.
Yeah, you know what it is, man. It's the season ticket holders, and now they feel stupid that they got stuck with this obligation that they got to pay. And they're all, and I get it, they're pissed off. I was one of them, but it's just like they get Aaron Rodgers, they get these legacy jerseys. It's just like, hey, it's like you bought this Lamborghini, and now you found out it's got transmission issues. You still got to make the payments, and now the fact that they're asking for 2024 payments, it's disgusting. Because I think they know deep down that I think Rodgers is only playing one more year and that's it. So
Yeah.
they got to squeeze us for every penny and dime. And I'll tell you this. I actually believe that they're going to get Devontae Adams next year. That's how they're going to tease us all to come back. You know what they're going to say? Hey, but guess what? We're going to have home legacy jerseys. So you know what? Shut up. Buy the jersey. We'll see you in September.
Legacy. What is a legacy? A Jets jersey in a trash can? That's legacy.
And
No, you know
listen,
what's
my favorite thing was when they had Rodgers on the phone, season ticket holders.
Ah.
That was excellent.
Oh, that was no. I got Alex. I got a better one for you. Before this disaster even happened, they had Woody in the ticket office. They tweeted out a video in August. Every time they made a sale, they were jumping up and down, ringing bells that they sold tickets. I'm like, do you know how disingenuous that is to see that as an old school fan? It's like, what are you more concerned with, my money or wins? It's so evident. It's disgusting.
Again, any other organization would fire their coach.
And also another thing to talk about the whole Woody Johnson thing. It's funny because the week that Diana Rossini decided to tweet out articles about the Jets pursuing Devontae Adams, it was the same Sunday that the Jets collected payments for next year. See, I could read between the lines. I'm
You just
like,
gotta connect the dots.
he's been bad and good. You painted.
You
How
know,
is it?
Jemai, he's been mainly bad. No, he said, hold on. He said the main reason for the Jets being bad for most of their history is no. Look,
I'm not denying. We're not denying that.
We're not denying. Look, I think they all have equal blame. They all have equal blame. But let's not act like Zach Wilson has been good. Like he had maybe 2 or 3 good games this year.
Zach Wilson.
He's barely put up a complete game in his entire career. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
either
think
like,
he's ever played a good complete game. Like the 2 games that will always stand out to me in like good memory of Zach Wilson is the Texan game last week, which was half a good game. And then it was the Titan game where he hit the bomb to Corey Davis, but they did their best to lose that game in the end.
That's right.
If you that remember correctly.
Mhm.
that's right.
The thing that's truly amazing, 13 straight years, like the world has changed so much. But here's the funniest part with this franchise and the longest playoff draw in North American sports. In those 13 straight years, isn't it just crazy to think not once, 13 times they couldn't finish with the number 1 overall pick? Not once.
Yeah. They don't know how to lose games. And I'm sorry. Look, I understand that players want to play, but GMs know what they're doing and ownership knows what they're doing because let's stop this now. We know it's because Woody is asking for those ticket sales. We see him doing the little Twitter, he's tweeting
The little
on
gold
X.
chain he's wearing,
Or
He's
whatever.
Yeah.
whatever.
Parade, remember, he paraded around with Taylor
This
Swift.
Sunday we're wearing black on green pants. I hate that tweet every Sunday.
Like,
I don't give a fuck what they wear.
congratulations.
Nobody cares.
I'm
Nobody cares
wearing
about
champion sweatpants and a New York Rangers shirt. Do you see me tweeting and posting and celebrating and singing Kumbaya with you? No, because nobody gives a damn.
Can I
Go
ask
Rangers.
this?
that. Read the room, for Christ's sake.
I mean, what is it? What are we going to get to the point with the Jets to where they start giving out medium Pepsis? Season ticket holders.
Medium Pepsis, like a
I'll tell
free
you
one.
this. I'll tell you this.
Like the Giants had.
And I'll tell you this. NYJ Matt was on the former Jets Turbulence podcast, and he said the only thing that Jets season ticket holders get is, I believe, I think like a fridge magnet and a calendar. You don't get any discounts on merchandise. You don't get any discounts on food or coupons or shit like that. You get a fucking calendar and a magnet. What? How, like that's where I agree with Vinny. Like, I will never tell people how to spend their money, but like, as a logical person, how do you possibly? And this was middle of the season too. How do you possibly say, you know what? I got to buck up for Jets football next year.
That'll be the most.
It's a multi-year agreement probably, in which as Vinny said, it's only going to be 1 year of Rodgers. He's not going to play 3 more years.
No.
That'll be the most expensive magnet and calendar you will ever buy.
And Luca, that's part of the problem, and that's why these 2 assholes are coming back next year, because they're anticipating they're going to fail. They just want the fan base to get excited to see Aaron Rodgers in a Jets uni for 1 year, but they know they have to blow everything up, and no coach is going to come here if you're going to be forcing Aaron Rodgers or a different quarterback that they would draft onto them. So we know it's going to get blown up. It's just we're delaying the inevitable here.
Exactly my point. And we're not even going to win a Super Bowl with them. They're so incompetent. I don't think Rodgers could overcome them. Can we be like? Let's be objective.
I agree.
41 years old off an Achilles.
41 years old off an Achilles.
You guys think he plays on Christmas Eve?
I hope not.
I hope.
I think it'd be
not.
the stupid. You know what? It actually wouldn't shock me because of how greedy Woody Johnson is. Because he knows
He's
he,
also
he has
tested
to have. Look, guys, I think he plays dumb a lot because he has to know that nobody would want to show up to this football game.
Yeah, but he
So-
doesn't care, bro. The tickets are already sold out. The money's locked in. He's got it. All the games are always sold out. It's just at the point of can you sell beer, merchandise, all that other bullshit that they propped out there.
I honestly wouldn't even. I did not, and I'm proud to say it. I did not waste a single dollar for the Jets this year. I did not go to one game. I was offered multiple times. I was a total of 5 times. I was offered to go, 5 times. I
I went
declined
to-
every time, and I made the smartest financial and the smartest mental health decision because I didn't have to sit there and watch those sad saps play.
I went to one game as a fan, and that was the freaking rain game against the Patriots, and that was terrible. I was up in the 3rd row. It was cold. It was rainy, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going with credentials the next week, which was against the Chiefs. I went to a couple games with credentials. More on that later. But as a fan, I am not purchasing dick.
Good.
Dude,
But,
no one blames you, dude. It's not worth it. And if to those of you, I said this in forgot whose space it was the other day. It might have been the lounge, but if anybody thinks that we're gonna win in Fox, I don't care how bad the Patriots are, knowing it's Belichick's last game against the Jets, you've got another thing coming. Because the one thing the NFL loves are happy tail or these storybook endings.
You know what?
He might get carried off the field for humiliating them last time.
I could see it him just losing on purpose just to like screw the Jets tank and just be like then they're gonna celebrate and say, guys, we finally did it. We beat Bill Belichick and the Pats. And
Yeah,
like,
we ended the streak.
great job. You could have
Great
done
job.
that years ago, or like not had a streak of losing
Could've.
to the Patriots every single time.
Could have beat the Patriots. We could have swept the Patriots.
We could have beat maybe in week 3 we'd be celebrating.
Yep.
You know, we kind of had that game and a game where Zach was pretty bad.
You know, honestly, I think we could have beaten them in any one of these years that Saleh was the coach. And you guys know I'm not a Rob Saleh fan.
Yeah.
It's just if Zach wasn't the quarterback, I think they had enough on their roster to get it done. I really do.
Yep. I could agree with that.
Also, coming out of the bye, what was it against the New England Patriots? They got blown out. What was it,
Well-
2021?
Yep, I know what game you're talking about. 54-13 they lost. And then Saleh said afterwards they played their tails off.
He said that
they-
today.
That was Saleh's first year. I remember that.
Yep.
They
The
played
video
the-
I dropped, that was when I first started the channel. That to this day is got the most views of any other video I went off on that, like 20 minutes of rant.
they played their tails up, guys. We are
At
talking.
least
Vinny,
4
so-
times today. I don't mean to interrupt John. He said credit to them. Credit to them.
I'm
I
sick.
I heard that, but guys, make sure if you're new here, hit that sub and hit that like button as we continue this convo with Vinny. But I think what frustrated me, as I saw one play in the game, I think it was like Solomon Thomas that got the sack.
Yeah,
They were down like they were down 30-0.
He's like,
And they start celebrating. I'm like, what are you celebrating? Like, do you
like
not
Quentin
see the
Williams
score?
mocking Jalen Waddle, and then Waddle just goes deep and scores a touchdown at DJ Reed. I mean, this team has no control or accountability, so the players can do whatever the fuck they want.
Woo! Yeah, we're losing 30-0. All
You
right.
think you think you saw mailing it in today, dude? Wait. Now that the season is officially over, you're gonna see guys really mailing it in these last 3 weeks. Just
I
guys
hope-
not caring, taking plays off.
I
Like, you're
hope
gonna
that
see a
happens.
ton of guys just magically show up on the injury report. My ankle hurts, my back hurts, my wrist hurts.
I hope Sam Howell throws like 700 yards in like the first quarter.
I mean, listen, that's good for Giants draft pick. Maybe I don't know.
No,
But,
it's good for fantasy purposes. Just pick up
True.
whatever team's playing against the Jets.
That's true.
True. Especially if the opposing defense. That will do you wonders. That will do you wonders. But Vinny, any final thoughts?
Yeah, this team sucks.
great
They're
final
not good
guess.
They are not good for your mental health, your well-being, and I don't know. I blame my father 100%, but I also have to thank my dad because I was gonna buy the tickets this year, hand up, and literally hours before I called the ticket office, he called me and he said, "What if this guy gets hurt?" Those are his exact words. He honestly saved me $2,500. So thanks, Dad. But no thanks, Dad. This team sucks. Another one bites the dust. Guys, Thank you for always having me on. You're always welcome to come onto the lounge, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, guys.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays,
Vinny.
Vinny.
Later. If you guys haven't already, please sub up to Mr. Vinny. He does a good job, and also on Twitter. He does part of the Jet Lounge. But before we get the voice of reason on, hopefully Armand calls in. I do want to get on a Giants fan that I have to thank for saving me last week, Mr. Miz. What's going on, Miz?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Miz?
How are you, man?
This guy Alex. We caught the only good game in years.
That's
We
true.
got lucky last week. No, nothing.
man.
I was just talking to Puko. You saw him in the chat.
Yeah.
And well, I don't know what to tell you. Who's this? Who's this, by the way, on the sideline?
Fella. There you go. You got the impression down.
It's crazy, man. I mean, like I've been saying this. This is nothing new. You could ask Buko, anybody. I've been saying this for like 2 years. This guy's not a head coach. I mean, I don't know what, I mean, I understand they want to run it back the regime. They're running it back next year. That's the worst thing. That's gonna happen. But,
You're
I
right.
mean, because it's gonna be all, Rogers went down with the fourth play, blah blah blah. They brought him in. It's their guy. It's not fair. I mean, I don't know how many quarterbacks this guy Doug is gonna get to test out, but I don't know. I just Salah's dude. He's a defensive coordinator. I've already said this in a video. He thinks he's one of the players. Okay, he wants to run up and down the stands. I'm pretty sure he hangs out with them in a weight room and bullshits all the time.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he does things the way he talks to them. I'm pretty sure he doesn't interact with them like a coach. It's more like a friend, a buddy, like we would.
Guidance counselor.
Is what I'm saying, man. You just can't be that way and be the head coach. There's got to be some type of separation. Yeah, be cool with your players, but you got to be cool with them on a term where when it's time to rip them up on the sideline or discipline somebody, you got to be able to do it. You can't be buddy, and then when it comes to doing that, you're like, I'm not going to do that because really he's my boy. He's not my player. You know what I'm saying? And then he's going to tell the media, oh, I don't do that in front of people. We do that inside the locker room. Man, you don't do dick shit in the locker room. So
Yeah,
stop,
it
brother.
just
You know what I
shows.
mean?
It just shows.
Yeah. So it's like, and I get it. When you're in New York, you got to feed the media a little crap. You can't just throw people on the bus. I agree with that. But, man, you can't. The lines are over, man. I mean, the Jet fans see it. The Giant, anyone who lives in the metropolitan area already, it's, I don't know what the Jets are going to, I get it. First of all, Mike Francesa is right. You put Rodgers on this field in the next week or two, that entire regime should get fired. Behind
Absolutely.
that O-line, bro.
They should be fired now, but yes, I do agree with what he said.
Yeah, because who you playing next week?
We're playing Commanders, and then it's Cleveland the week
Okay,
after.
Commanders, but the Browns. When you play Cleveland Browns, that defense will come after Rodgers. They would love nothing but to end his career. I'm telling you. Don't
Miles
think they
Garrett.
won't go take shots at his legs. Oh, he's Rodgers. No. I'm telling you. Because a player gets a big time sack on Rodgers, they take pride in that. It's just
Especially with the Hamburglar Becton blocking out there.
That's
And
fucking-
somebody
that
cracked-
guy,
Miz was right. Miz was right.
practice
I don't
squad
remember what he
offensive
called.
line.
I don't remember what he called him.
You called him a
Miz was-
hippo.
Yeah, hippo. And
Yeah,
now
I told Buko
he's-
2 summers
He's
ago.
the
this
hippo
guy's
that
a-
escaped the zoo. That's what he is.
he's I told Buko in the gym 2 years ago to get rid of this guy. He came in the league, okay? He doesn't care. He's still, 3 years later? 4 years later from when he was drafted?
This is his fourth season.
He was the first. He was the first draft of Joe Douglas.
Yeah.
He was
drafted the
first
same
ever
year as
pick.
Andrew Thomas. Same draft.
Mhm.
Okay. Becton could have been really good. He cares about eating. He cares about smoking, whatever he smokes, okay? He doesn't care about conditioning, football.
I'll tell you this, Miz. You know what? First of all, let me say this. They should have been fired. I completely agree with Jemiah. I completely agree. I said he should have been fired last year, and John said the same. But I'll tell you this. You know what Mekhi Becton truly cares about? You know what Mekhi Becton truly cares about? When in the summer, people were shitting on Joe Cat, our good buddy Joe Cat, because he was making fun of Mekhi Becton. Becton, every single day, posting, oh, today, posting his weight loss challenge. You know what? It's fun that you lost weight. Nobody fucking cares. It doesn't matter until you get on the fucking football field because you haven't gotten there 2 years. And in year 3, he was solely responsible for why he didn't get on the field because he showed up to camp fucking overweight. And now he wants to shit on his haters, but you know what? His haters are back because he allowed 11 sacks.
He don't care, bro. He don't care about shit. He doesn't show any desire to better himself. Yeah, he lost some pounds last summer, but as soon as the season started, he probably went right back on the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, he's another version of the guy I hated the night we drafted him, and you all know who it is. And people criticize me, call me you don't like a colored people, and then they all apologized later. The guy Tony was a clown the night we drafted him. I was sick to my stomach, and I said it. And look at him. First day of training camp, my man, I can't practice because my cleats don't. You're in the NFL. There's a million cleats in there. Are you serious? And I knew right there, and even Pat said, yo, Miz, you might be right about this guy. I said, no, I'm not might be right, bro. We passed on Parsons to drop back and pick up a circus clown. And it's the truth. It's the truth. Some players in the NFL today, some young kids or players, it ain't like back in the days. They just don't have hard work ethic. The great ones do, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And Brits,
you go ahead.
That's my boy.
I was going to read his comment. He says, this Joe D special take the big athletic guy over the good football player. No, that's exactly right. I'm really tired
guru, John, the O-line guru.
The offensive line guru, who I think has literally had not only like the worst offensive line this year, but like in like the overall, you want to go with the span of 4 years, the offensive line under him has been horrific. So if he's supposed to be this offensive line guru and he also got the quarterback wrong, what is so special about him? And don't tell me, I know he had some good draft picks. I know made a signing 2 or here or there, right? But he did not build them the right way, and they are failing because of it. Again.
John, just look at his win-loss record and his winning percentage. That's all you got to look at. That's all you got to look at, literally.
No, I know. It's awful. And it's funny. He won't face the media now. I'm sure they'll put him out there at the end of the year, to like, we'll be back next year. I get it. But you know what? I don't want to hear that because Robert Saleh, as much as I can't stand him and he's terrible at his job, he still at least puts his face in front of the media. But
because he has to.
He has, because he's like the puppet for the.
Let's be honest, bro. Let's be honest. He's taking all the hits for the organization. I
know.
You're right,
and rightfully so. But they're both equally as awful. Like there's no way of explaining. Like, Robert Saleh is worse than Adam Gase. That's just a fact. And Joe Douglas is somehow just as bad as Mike Maccagnan.
Johnny's worse. Johnny's worse. Mike Maccagnan had a 10-6 season in his first 10-6 record in his first season.
Let's not forget, it was Mike Maccagnan that actually got one of our best players, C.J. Mosley,
and Quinnen Williams.
Bro, that's how you know Saleh's coming back, because they told him, just take it from the media, eat it, don't throw anybody under the bus. You're coming back next year. I'm telling you, that's what's going on.
Sam Darnold looked better than Zach Wilson in his tenure here.
I mean,
yeah. Yes,
I would say that. Also, I'll tell you this: there's some people out there, there's some Jet fans out there who regret trading Sam Darnold, which I disagree with. But I do agree with John's point. Sam Darnold was a better Jet than Zach Wilson was. Zach Wilson was Jamarcus Russell 2.0.
What is the difference, man? Sam comes off like a man, and I'm sorry, Zach comes off like an 11-year-old kid. Still, he looks like a little kid, bro, lost in the big New York City.
He is.
He's not from there. He's from Utah, where he was spoon-fed in a farm, and New York is not. I mean, I give him credit. He hasn't broken down and cried on TV yet, but it's not for him, man. He probably wants
not much credit.
I'll be honest with you. I bet you, if you asked him in a quiet room, he would like to get the hell out of New York.
I couldn't blame him. I could not.
Not his city, man. It's not even the Jets. It's just not his area of the country, man. The media is hounding him. He can't handle it. It is what it is, man.
Do you?
Yeah, that's what's up.
Do you think? I know we've talked about this on several occasions. By the way, Luke is coming back. Luke actually wanted Sean Payton last year, but there were a couple of Jeff fans who wanted cop outs instead.
Yeah.
By the way, not to take a shot at the Jeff fans. Now, I'm not. This is not a shot, Luke. All right.
Oh, I'm listening.
What makes you think? Because I've been watching football since 1986. Okay.
Right.
What makes you think any big time coach wants to come to the Jets anymore?
I'll tell you.
I don't think they're. I'm gonna hear before Lucas. I personally do not think we have anything of hope.
I mean, yes, I do agree with that, but I think also the problem is why we haven't been able to attract a big head coach is because Woody does not pay coaches the proper salary. We've been asking, Jim Harbaugh, Bruce Arians, Mike Tomlin could be an option too, but you know what? Obviously, with the Harbaugh guy, you're gonna have to pay him. You're gonna have to pay him $10-15 million. I wouldn't have an issue with that, but you know what? Is Woody Johnson gonna buck up for him? I don't think so.
I think it's a little more than money. I think it's all about culture. I mean,
it is culture.
Luke, this is 13 years. This is 13 years.
I mean, fix this mess. That's the question.
What happened?
I said, who wants to fix this mess?
Exactly. No. Why would you? I'm sure that hey, I know the Chargers job is open now. I know they got some issues, but hey, at least they got a quarterback.
That's true. But I'll say this, John. In retrospect, the Chargers are actually in a bit of cap hell.
I know they're in cap hell, but at least they have something that's appealing. It's hey, how many coaching jobs are open that have a talent, top quarterback?
They got a lot of talent. They got a nice O-line, and they do got a young star quarterback that's underachieving right now because he's not being coached.
Right, exactly. At least they have that. I mean, you look at some of the openings from last year. I mean, friggin' look at the first-year head coaches. I mean, Shane Steichen. What happened?
DeMeco Ryans
had his pick of C.J. Stroud. That team's fighting for playoffs. Anthony Richardson went down, and yet Shane Steichen has them literally in a playoff hunt again. And it's just mind-boggling. The culture is so bad in this organization. It's if fans don't want to,
we need a big boy coach.
Players don't want to play. People don't want to. Coaches and don't want to do their job. It's embarrassing.
You know who's the guy I think for the Jets? I'll give you the perfect guy. You got to bring back Rex Ryan. He's the perfect guy. I'm telling you. Just for a couple of years, he could turn it back around. I'm telling you, especially with your defense, with your defensive players.
No. Miz, I'm going to be completely – I just want to say this, Jemiah, if the Lions can turn around, I hope we can too. Lions and Texans actually rebuild in 1 to 3 years. The Jets rebuild, and they take about 5 to 10 years to rebuild. But to answer that seems like a very money-making move the Jets would make just to bring back fans. That would be classic Woody Johnson. And Rex Ryan, to me, I think, he'll motivate the players. There's no issue with that. I think he is he's been out of the league too long. I know he's been analyzing for ESPN, but and the biggest problem was towards the end of his tenure, the offenses were terrible. It was shuffling through offensive coordinators. And at the end of the day, he can't out-scheme anybody else. And I think his style of play is a little outdated. So at the end of the day, I don't think, Rex Ryan's the answer. The Jets need a big boy head coach. I agree with that, but I don't think Rex Ryan's the guy.
Well, I don't think Harbaugh's coming to the Jets.
I would honestly make him say no. Try everything possible. Again, I completely agree with you. He might not come here, but make him say no. Absolutely, call him. Do whatever the fuck you want. I remember Darnold at USC. Yeah, he was a gunslinger until he kept turning over the ball. Tomlin's available. I would honestly hire Mike Tomlin. Tomlin's. I know
Tomlin's nice, of course.
I know he's having trouble over in Pittsburgh. Will they fire him? I don't know. Will it be against the Steeler way? Who knows? But Tomlin, I know he's had his own issues, but I think he's one of those coaches like the Andy Reid with the Eagles. He's been at a certain place for too long. He needs to go elsewhere and, find greener pastures. Not saying the Jets aren't the most greener pastures, but you know what? New team. And you know what? Fans will be happy. He's won a Super Bowl. He's had multiple winning seasons.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to make of the Jets, to be honest, because you're going to run it back with Rodgers next year. If it doesn't work, He's retiring 1,000%. I don't care what anybody tries to convince themselves that he'll come back for a third year. I don't think so. And then you have major O-line issues. They got to address the O-line this draft. Not once, at least 2 players. And then maybe another one in free agency. You know, you got to – we knew this last summer, and they chased down Cook. I didn't understand it.
I mean,
and
true.
Then, like Buko and I were saying, Cleveland Ezra was gotten by the Jaguars in week 3 for a 6th-round pick.
Yeah. We talked about it. We said, you know what? You got to trade for an out. If you're truly going not so much all in, but if you're going to go for a playoff spot, you got to trade and upgrade the roster. But the Jets didn't do that. They sat there complacent. The only move they made was trading McCall Hardman, which great signing that was. I'd rather have
earlier. Bring back Corey Davis. They still have the rights to him. The guy.
That's if he wants.
Lazard is garbage, man.
I know Lazard. Man, I know Lazard garbage, but
I don't know.
Jemiah says I'd rather have Harbaugh's brother. If you talk about John Harbaugh, I mean he's coaching a hell of a team right now. First seed in the AFC. Tomlin's the only defensive-oriented coach I'd hire. I agree with that. He'll come back a third year if he makes the playoffs next year and falls short. Because he's talking about
Rodgers.
Yeah, Rodgers. But you know what? He's going to retire after next year. I know it. I could see the inevitable.
He's 1,000% retiring after next year.
He's not staying another 2 years. And truthfully, what's the ceiling with this team? A first round exit of 1 round win? I don't know.
I think if they don't win a playoff game next year, the entire regime got to go.
Oh, they should be gone now. But yes, I agree with you. And another thing is this has literally been the most exhausting year of my fandom as a New York Jets fan. Most exhausting.
But Miz, what did you think of the Giants today? The end all hopes lose out.
Not much. I mean, the Giants. Last week was fun, but you sat next to me. I didn't have these high pipe dreams that other people had. Oh yeah, you'll win, man. I mean, run the table. Come on, bro. I mean, that's like me going to the store buying a ticket and telling people this is the winner. A lotto ticket. I mean, listen. I look at the Giants for what they are. They're a team that's growing. They still need pieces. The O-line has some pieces, but still needs 1 or 2 more. I would like to get 1 big piece in the draft. I don't know. But at the same time, I'm not one of these people that's all we need is that big tackle from Notre Dame, and then that's it. DeVito or Jones are going to be great. No, I think we need to get a quarterback in this draft.
Can't wait for a quarterback. Can't do that.
Yeah, you can't wait for a quarterback unless you're going to use those 2 picks in the second to go back up. You better know what's going on and what teams are looking for. I mean, if you took Joe Alt, if he was there, would I be happy? Yeah, because he's a mountain of a monster. But I think, and I'm still going to stick to this, man, it all depends on New England, bro. But you know what? To me, Drake May is the diamond in this draft. And if the Giants, if Joe Shane's crazy about him, which it looks like he is, screw it. Trade the 1 in 25. Trade the 1 this draft. Put in another 2 and whatever it needs to go up and get him. But the problem is, New England's going to want him too. I think
they're definitely.
And they're sitting in prime position for him. So
there's going to be. I honestly think the Giants are going to end up as of now, based on the draft for now. It could obviously change, but I'm looking at it and playing in my head. I think Jaden Daniels is the guy they're going to end up with. Get out of LSU. He is very athletic.
They like him too. Shane likes him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're gonna talk about more of our draft prospects. When we're back in 2024, all that stuff. But Jaden Daniels looks like the guy right now, just because you got the Bears. I mean, whether you want to debate them, Justin Fields or not, they're probably going to take a quarterback, and then so is New England, because you can't. They're just a dumpster fire right now. And then you look at the other teams.
Well, it's not going to be Belichick's New England. So maybe they don't want a Drake May. Maybe they want a Khalib or something. You don't know who's going to be there now.
They could. That's possible.
If it was Belichick, I tell you, say goodbye to Drake May. He's taking him 100%. It's a Belichick. He's a Belichick type of QB. He's a Giants type of QB. You know what I mean? But it's not going to be Belichick. So it's going to be completely different now. You don't know what to expect in New England. Can we get this LSU kid? Does it have to be in the top, or do you think that they can slide back into the late one and get him with their 2-2s?
I
I
honestly
want to
don't
see how the
think so.
combine ranks
Well,
out in the pro
That
day.
too. I don't think that's going to happen because I think, if you wait there, someone else would snag a quarterback.
That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah,
Can we steal a tackle at the top and still get the LSU kid later? No, probably not, right?
No, probably not, because you
No.
got teams, that are probably going to take quarterbacks in the second round, whether that be the Raiders or the Falcons or maybe Minnesota. Like, someone else would probably snag him if he was there. I'm like, oh, you know what? We need a quarterback. So
that would leave it down to Penix, Knicks, and some of these other cats.
No, I don't want to leave it. I don't
McCarthy.
want to settle for some guy and say, oh, maybe we can make it work, because that's how you get in trouble with quarterbacks, because it never works that way. You got to get the guy that you love, that Dabo is going to coach him into his system. It's got to be like that. And he's right. It's either that kid or Drake May, and that's it. It's nobody else. It's just those two. I don't want Khalid anywhere near the Giants. Nowhere near, man. He's not for New York. I've been saying this. He can't handle California's media. How's he going to handle New York City? He's a very sensitive kid. That's fine. If you go to Tennessee or Houston or some place that nobody knows exists, that's not working on the East Coast and the Northeast. It's not, man. DeVito's fun. He could be a backup. He'll come in and battle next year. You invite him back to camp. He's not a starter. Another thing I'm going to grow tired of in these next 3 weeks, even though we enjoyed the kid last week, Alex, I can't watch this fucking guy in the green suit running around the sideline no more. That's it. I had enough. Okay, we can't have this guy with the blue chains and the sunglasses. It's making a mockery out of who the Giants are. This is not who we are. Get back in the stands. You don't belong on the sideline. You're not Spike Lee either. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. It's getting stupid. Today was stupid. Let's be honest.
Today was the end of all the DeVito stuff. Like, I read the tweet earlier. There was a pizza shop in Jersey that wanted him to like promote them and whatnot. He increased the asking price. DeVito's the DeVito's like family and stuff. They increased the price $10,000. I'm like, he's getting so much fame, but all this shit is just gonna rock bottom at some point because the Giants are not a good team, and he's not a good quarterback.
Well, it's going to rock bottom next week when the Eagles kick our asses in. That's what's going to happen.
Right.
That's when it's going to rock bottom.
And you lose and then lose versus don't win any games. Because again, I said this earlier, Washington or the Jets will win next week. And then Washington might win another game, or the Jets might win another game. One of the loser of the Sunday game on Christmas Eve between the Washington and the Jets, I think they'll win another game, which would put us back even more. And if the Bears win a game of these next three, that puts us even more, which would put us at 4, which is a really good spot.
Now, I've seen the Bears schedule. They definitely have some winnable games.
Falcons, they can win now.
Yeah, so we could get to like, 5 maybe? Unfortunately, this is the way
our lowest is 4.
What it is.
Our lowest is 4. So they have Arizona, Atlanta, and Green Bay. So right now, I think let's see. It's the Bears technically because the Panthers, the Patriots, who's at 3? The Cardinals. Then it's the Commanders. That's where the 5 wins start coming in. Then it's the Bears, then it's the Jets, then it's the Giants. And I think the Bears, the Jets, and the Commanders can win one game each down the stretch, and then we're good.
Well, I'd rather see the Jets beat Washington because we beat Washington twice. So they ain't going to have a tiebreaker no matter what. But if the Jets win one, we jump ahead of them.
I'm not accepting any wins. I'm not accepting any wins. I will personally make sure the NFL doesn't have it in the win column, even if they somehow miraculously did. And I will make sure they get a loss out of it.
I'll tell you, last week when we were sitting, I told you, Alex, right? I was worried, like the same way that Green Bay came in, all like they won 3 in a row and a little bit cocky, and you knew that the Giants were going to be coming from the underdog and they had something to prove. Same thing was going to happen to us with the Saints this week, and that same thing happened. You know, like the reverse.
A little faith. I don't know that the Jet fans on the panel.
Chris, look, that logic makes sense, but somehow the Jets always screw it up and they don't know how to lose properly.
The Jets get the 4th or 5th pick, trade down for 2 lower first-round picks since we don't have a second.
Makes sense.
Giants could trade up back in the late first for an O-line. Caleb, another crappy gunslinger and reception machine. I think Tommy DeVito should have an open competition with Jones next year for the starting job. Draft a quarterback. That's what I say. All the Rodgers ass-licking shows you how clueless and competent the Jets management is. Do you think he returns next week, Miz?
Who's that?
Rodgers.
I'm starting to think, yeah, and I'll tell you my reasoning. Because these guys upstairs, they want to prove to maybe the owner, even though maybe they don't even have to prove it, but maybe a little bit they do. We don't know what's going on in the building, especially Douglas may want to prove to the owner that if Rodgers comes in and wins a game or two, this is what we're going to look like with him next year. You see, and they're going to sell everyone on that. And the Jet fans are going to get hyped like, yo, this is what we're going to be next year. All that shit that we saw in August. Buko's in there is going to get mad. Like I quoted Jets, the champions of August every year. It's the truth.
Awesome.
I'm not trying to put him down, but this is what's going to happen. And that's the only reason you put that guy in the field. But I'd be really worried against the Browns because, like Francis said, he'll get killed. He will. Can you get away with it with Washington? Yeah. And he might look great because Washington stinks.
Yeah, trash defensively.
Yeah, I'm just saying. When you put him in the Browns game behind no line with Garrett coming after him, bro, I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking. God forbid that guy gets hurt again. They take a shot at that leg again. Its career's over. The regime shouldn't be fired. They should put in jail if that happens. That's for real.
100% for that.
It's malpractice.
Jets O-line has to be worse than the league. Yeah, one of the worst.
No, you could say it's Alex. Do you know the starters of today's offensive line?
The Giants gave up 7 sacks today. Stop it, John.
I understand that, but
how much pressure did you watch?
Yeah, this was our Alex. This was our.
To pause, this is a good point by Melvin. Why didn't Sauce follow Waddle? Tyreek Hill wasn't playing at all.
I don't even no
sense.
That
The scheme
that doesn't work, by the way. But here was the wonderful O-line today. We got Wawa Becton. We got Lakin it shouldn't be called Lake. He should be called Drowning because that dude's drowning in that contract and doing nothing. Tomlinson, Tippmann at center. Then it was Billy Turner that had to fill in at right tackle today, right, Luca? It was him, and then it was the right guard. It was
Jake Hansen.
Jake Hansen.
Yeah, we signed Roger Saffold a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing. I think Jake Hansen's like our 5th or 6th right guard. So
something like that.
So I'm pretty sure we have the worst offensive line we have one guy I might like. We have one guy, and that's just because he's a rookie, right? And I could safely say that he's like okay-ish. He's nothing spectacular. I know I looked at his stats. I think he's got like 6 penalties on the year and like giving up 2 sacks. So
yeah.
Other than that, it's like
7 right guards this season. Jesus. Awful. Any final thoughts, Miz?
No final thoughts. That's it. There's not much to say. Both teams look like garbage today. It's all right. Pretty much sums up the entire season. But yeah, let's go Jets. Win a couple games.
Please do. Yes.
Let's jump over them. All right, guys. I'll be watching you. Thanks for having me on.
Happy holidays, Miz.
Happy holidays.
Thank you, man. Happy holidays.
All right. So before we get on the elite duo here, we got Becton as a turnstile. We also got what's the Jets record after the bye week during the Salah era?
It's 2. Hold on a second. Let's look this up. I'll look this up before we get our fab duo.
Well, all right. I can already tell you from. Hold up.
They got 2 wins this year because of the Giants and the Texans.
2 wins last year.
2-6 this year. I'll say that 2-6 this year.
2-6. Last year, I want to say that they had maybe was it? I want to say they had
1
3
and
wins.
7. 1 and 7 last year. 2 and 6 this year.
1-7. Jesus Christ, that's awful.
Remember, they
1
lost 6 games in a row last year.
That's right. 3 and 13, right?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 and 9, 2021. 3 and 9, 2 and 7.
6 and 22.
Hold on. 3 and 9,
1 and 7,
1 and 7. That is
2 and
4 and
6.
16.
and 2
And
and 6.
2 and 6. Yeah, I think John's right. 6 and 22.
6 and 22. That is.
You guys must be really proud.
No, not really.
But with that being said, the duo that everybody has asked for. What is that, Armand?
Are you a lamp?
It's a fishing hat.
KFC.
There you go.
Are you supporting
It's a tote
Matt
hat,
Becton?
KFC. No, because
You
Beckton's
get
not
more than
winning.
you get for season tickets.
So this was surprise one.
Okay.
Surprise two is Target. Actually, I got to pick up what I was going to punish myself with, and
Okay.
it was Bean Boozled beans. I was going to punish myself with this if the Jets won today. Thank God I don't have to. And then, in honor of chat, because they christened me the Godfather.
Oh no!
Oh no. What did he do?
Oh no!
Okay. We're getting a
He's stripping here now.
Is this what we get for a Jets?
Yeah.
Oh, we got a shirt that says Godfather. Oh,
yeah.
You're a walking billboard today, Armand.
Well, the chat deserves this. This is the love I'm giving the chat because they christened me the Godfather.
But before we go more armed, Afram, how are you doing, man?
I'm fine.
All good, all
I'm
calm
good.
there.
I don't get like you guys. You guys getting all crazy for something you have no control over. You know,
I'm the same way, Afram. I was sitting back and just like,
that's it. It is what it is.
I'll be completely fair. I was apathetic today. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is happening.
I will look. I was just having a conversation today. I was not reacting over the Jets game. When I
No, I
turned
wasn't.
it on today, I laughed because they're just embarrassing. But I wasn't like,
Sure.
blowing up at them. Like
O-line was pathetic. Basically, couldn't stop nothing.
yeah,
Simple as that. That changes the whole game. You can't do anything after that.
they couldn't do anything.
You can't sustain a drive. You're done.
They couldn't do a single thing. And I'm
Okay.
like, you know what? It's not shocked.
after question, I brought this up in the chat. I don't know if you saw it.
Melvin's
If
right.
it was
by
the
the way.
Patriots that defeated us 30-0 today, is Salah fired?
No, I'm telling you, Salah's not
we
getting fired.
We know
No.
he's not getting fired.
No, he's not getting
You don't
fired. He's
think?
not getting fired, and I've held tight to this. All this stems from Woody.
I agree.
Well, he
I
does.
don't. I'll tell you
Everyone
what,
wants. You want to get Harbaugh. Harbaugh's not coming here. He ain't going anywhere. He would have came
That
somewhere
too.
by now. One. No one's going to pay him the money because you can't keep up with what he makes over at Michigan. Besides what he gets in salary, what he gets outside of salary.
Mhm.
He does. He gets.
And the power
He gets
has in
money from
college.
uniforms. He gets money from a lot of different things you guys don't realize. I read it someplace. He makes a ton of money out there, and he's fully control. He can go after anyone he wants. I would never trust him with a draft in the NFL. Okay, it took him forever to get what's his name, number 1 overall draft pick to be a quarterback.
Mhm.
Let's not forget that.
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith. It wasn't overnight. It took a very long time for him to become a decent quarterback.
wasn't he drafted under Singletary when Singletary was coach? If I'm not
They make
mistaken?
a difference.
Yeah, and
It
they
took a
kept changing
long
the
time.
offensive coordinators before they went to Harbaugh.
Who? Be honest with me right now. Forget about your anger. What head coach right now would have had that offensive line playing well today, this game?
None.
Exactly.
None.
I
What
agree with
offensive coordinator would have had?
none.
Okay?
None. But that also stems from Joe Douglas being awful.
Well, let's go back to that. I'm not defending Douglas, but Mackay was rated high in the draft. He played it well the first year. He got hurt. You can't control injuries, and he's never gotten back to normal.
Well,
It's as simple as that.
the one thing I'll say about Mackay, right? And here's why I have a big issue with him. It's because he doesn't take care of himself well. That's been reported for multiple seasons
That's
now.
fine, and that reflected on his injury.
Yep.
That all stemmed.
That's
He
exactly.
never came back. He tried to take it out this year, but he was never the same after that knee injury when Van Rotten
Landed on it.
he banged right into his knee. That's and to his kneecap, and I've talked to guys, doctors. That's a very hard injury to come back on. Okay, regardless of the fact, you can't. Offensive linemen don't grow on trees, unfortunately. They used to, but the game has changed, and now they have to rely on the offensive line. Okay, because quarterbacks have to be protected every which way. It's a quarterback game now. Should we have gotten a skipped on Brees Hall and went after a offensive lineman on that draft? Would you have been fine with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it's
Would you
hard.
have been fine with not drafting Garrett Wilson and going after an offensive lineman?
Question is who was available.
I think
though.
the offensive linemen that was supposed that were taken already in the top 10. They were already
Quantity
gone. Like,
was
you
one
weren't-
of
You could have dropped down too, right? I mean, there's different
you
scenarios.
could have traded down
I'm
from
not
10.
defending
Yes.
All I'm telling you is, and how I look at things, is that he's come from very good organizations, right? Baltimore, Philadelphia, worked under Howie Roseman. You don't become incompetent working for those organizations. That means, and this is only my theory, someone above him is telling him what to do, or not letting him do everything he wants to do.
Well, then if that is truly the case, Afram, then they need to approach it how I approach it. Don't buy tickets. Don't buy jerseys.
That's always
Don't-
going to happen. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I was. Gonna say,
I'm not telling people how to spend their money, but that's my suggestion. Don't do
No,
it.
I agree with you 100%.
Don't
But
do
unfortunately,
it. I didn't-
there's those that
Afram,
just like going to the game. They just like going to the game,
yeah, that's true.
being there.
They can
I
let go into
understand.
another game.
Yeah.
Afram,
Listen, I went-
question:
I-
Who was the
one-
was Doug?
Go ahead.
Do you think the McDonald pick was Douglas, or who was the McDonald pick?
I'm good. Listen, if that video, and I believe it's true, because if it wasn't true, that would have been leaked out, and they would have been the laughing stock of trying to pull that stunt. Okay, maybe they had it high, probably because they knew they were going to lose Lawson. He wanted someone there because maybe he's losing Lawson, and he was gonna let Huff hit the free agency market and see what he gets. But
I think they tag and trade him. I think they
What-
tag and
what's-
trade
what
off
would-
for
yeah, that's possible too. There's
an
a lot
offensive
of
lineman or a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, you could trade him to get Devontae, and you don't have to give up a first round pick.
it all comes down to you absorb that contract. You know,
Right.
they may do it. It all depends. They're gonna have to draft offensive linemen
Of course.
Oh,
this year.
I
They have no
understand
choice,
that,
no matter what round it is, and
Yeah.
either multiple.
Their first pick should be an offensive lineman.
I think it will be,
It should
but-
be.
but
Right now, next year's offensive line is right now to me
they got the
ABC
sixth,
and Tech.
the sixth,
Everybody
the
else
sixth
is
overall pick
expendable.
right now, which is a great pick. And someone may want to move up. My
Right.
thinking is, if you're in a position where quarterback is available, and I'm just throwing it out there,
Mhm.
the Raiders are looking for a quarterback
Long
too.
term answer.
That's
Right.
true.
I trade my pick, swap their pick. I'd want to go that high to get their franchise quarterback. I want
They're
your
number
two.
12.
I want your swap your first round pick with me. I want your number 2, and I want Devontae.
That could be
Their-
something.
So their picks, Afram, are 12 in the first round and pick 43 in the second round.
All I'm concerned is getting the second round pick.
That's their
back.
Yeah,
that's their
sure.
first two.
That's all. Where it lands, this is a different thing. But O-line is O-line. I don't even know who's available on offensive line this year. I'd love them to cut to see if they can get out of Lakeland Tomlinson's contract.
Right
even
now,
though
the
he's
top two
played every
offensive linemen
game.
are all
He's
from
played
Notre Dame and
horrific.
Penn State.
He's just you could see Becton is hurt. He let guys go on there.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know,
You know what?
why there was no penalty called on Chubb is a different story.
I know. I'm not going to even have that.
Okay.
But Chubb had his way with him all day.
But you know what the problem is with the whole Becton thing? You know he was injury prone coming into the season. Why would you have him as the starter? And I know they were trying to have him compete for right tackle, but you tell me you couldn't have a better option
Who?
competing Dwayne. You had Dwayne Brown and Mekhi Becton.
Could have drafted
Who?
Your two tackles. Dwayne
Patrick
Brown
Chung.
is 38, protecting a 39-year-old quarterback, and Mekhi Becton has been injury prone. At least, I mean, I get it. They made him compete. I know they had Max Mitchell and Billy Turner and all that, but
What free agent was coming here? If they
I know
drafted
they
a
tried for
rookie,
Orlando
we're
Brown.
having the same question. Is this rookie going to protect Rodgers? What if the rookie was the left tackle for week 1 and the same thing happened to Rodgers? 4 snaps and gets injured. That kid is enemy number 1 of this goddamn fan base and goddamn social media. More than Becton and more than Brown.
Hold on, Armin, hold on. They had the ability.
Well, also the kid might not even
I
play.
disagree. That's not an enemy from the way Rodgers got hurt. But hold on, they wasted it on Will McDonald, and that was their perceived pick.
That was a panic pick, if you want my honest
We
opinion.
all know
that wasn't
that was a
couldn't have been their
bullshit
pick.
panic pick, as Lucas said. But nevertheless, they could have had the option of moving up a spot. It's not like they didn't talk to anyone to move up.
Let's talk with
did.
the Lions, didn't they?
I said they should have called up Detroit because Detroit had 12 and 18.
Yeah.
Didn't they
Either
though?
try to move up to 12 for Broderick Jones or
That's what
talk
I
to
said.
Detroit and try to move
Hey,
back down to
He
18.
tried to get Orlando. Was it Orlando Brown?
Yeah.
No, yeah, he tried to get Orlando Brown.
He tried to get
Orlando
It's
Brown
not like
chose Cincinnati.
it's not like he exactly. It's not like he didn't try to get quality players. It's just who's coming.
But
You know?
what's the results? You
Yeah.
try. It's like the Brian Cashman quote, right?
Yeah.
You know, your process is, it doesn't matter about the results. It's the process. If you look at the Jets process, it's been BS. So what do the results matter? The results have been garbage. But what was I going to say? Like, there was fans before this week. It was laughable that they're like, oh, Mekhi Becton could come back on like a minimum contract next year or a franchise tag next year. I'm like, if you're going all in next year, you really think Mekhi Becton should be one of your tackles? And the answer is
No, I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah.
You can
No.
see that.
Better
But
not.
Here's another thing, you guys. I've been listening, and I understand frustration hits. All right, say we fire Salah and JD.
Right.
Who's coming in?
No, we don't.
Sadly, it's Hackett.
No, I mean
Sadly,
that's
Hackett's
No,
got
who's coming as GM? Who's coming as GM?
I don't have the answer to that now, but
Who's making the decision?
That's what he
Woody.
does.
Woody?
But I agree.
Done.
Look, I'm
Done.
in agreement. I think Woody should sell the team. They're
They're never going to sell.
I'm
Okay.
praying you're wrong, and I hope he does.
Yeah.
But
This is his little. He's got nothing
It's
else.
his money machine. But I'll tell you this.
He's got money. It's just this. What has he got else in his life? Let's say.
Right, of course. I agree with that.
He took that ambassador's job because it was something meaningful to him, and he left his dopey
It was
brother
handed
to
to him.
take charge, who basically took calls from anybody to get information.
Yeah,
He
with
got
the whole
Gase,
system,
listen
of
to Peyton Manning. Okay, gave what's his name $100 million to spend, and then get rid of him.
Right. And the thing is, Ephraim, I know me and John are calling for the firing of Douglas and Salah now, but that scenario is eventually going to happen in the future, years after Rodgers. And I get it. I do get your concern with Woody Johnson. Woody Johnson's not even close to a football guy. Their closest football guy is Jaime Elhai, who is what, the president? I don't
He's
nothing. He's a president.
He's what Tannenbaum was with Parcells. He knew how to work the cap. He knows how to work the cap.
Supposedly he was Jaime, but the question, all right, I guess we'll get to Vinny's question. Question for Armin: without extending JD and Salah, fair to say that makes them both lame duck head coach and GM?
Only when Rodgers is gone. That's it. Case in point, no matter what. If Rodgers is here the next 2 seasons, they're both here.
Yeah.
I think they're lame duck anyway.
Lucas said they're here with Rodgers is gone.
And the question is, too,
You would need something You would need something like the Chargers game from Thursday to happen next season for Woody to possibly fire Salah. And
No,
you're
he
like,
wouldn't even do that. That's already
mid-season.
that he wouldn't even do that. He would not do that.
This is the scenario. The offensive line coach will be the scapegoat, and rightly so. He'll be fired. The guy they got from the Titans who was fired. It's just to say we saw something and we got rid of him. You probably see Calabrese gone too.
The fact that they hired him from Wagner College in Staten Island is a question mark in itself.
Hey, don't put down people from Staten Island. That's not nice.
No. I'm not. I didn't, listen, my best friend's family.
Well, me and Afro know two people from Staten Island.
No. It's nothing about Staten Island. It's like you hired a guy from a low-level college to be an NFL quarterbacks coach. If he was like at Temple, that's one thing. But from Wagner University, it's like Wagner College.
Their backs were against the wall. Luca, remember, they lost their quarterbacks coach to an accident, a bicycle accident.
Yeah, Nap.
So they probably they rushed to judgment to make a hire because they didn't want it to just to not have Zach have a quarterback coach.
And usually, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to touch
you. Could have made the OC you could have made LaFleur the quarterback's coach, but what would that have done?
You could have brought in Jim Caldwell.
Jim, the problem is that he let him bring, and this happens a lot in the NFL. Let's not just say it's the Jets. When a new head coach comes in, he brings in everyone that he wants to bring in.
Of course.
And that's the norm.
Yeah.
Should they have done to say, hey, we're going to give you an offensive coordinator, assistant head coach type of situation, but he brought in LaFleur, so bring in someone else. They didn't give him that option. They didn't throw that option on him like they did to Matt Rule.
Yeah.
And Matt Rule should have listened because when he went, he did Matt shit. Rule, now he's back into college. Yeah. Okay.
Terrible in college, by the way.
Yeah.
He had a terrible year.
Yeah. He's not, sometimes because you college to the NFL is very hard.
Oh yeah, not everybody can make the adjustment.
Exactly. So just because a guy, everyone says they should go after this guy in college. Well, guess what? There's a lot of cases where they're not that good when they come into the NFL.
Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Saban. What's his name? Spurrier. Steve Spurrier.
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer. There's plenty. There are a few outliers, obviously, of Pete Carroll.
What's his name from Alabama?
Kingsbury.
Yeah, Saban.
Yeah,
Saban didn't do it. He took to Miami. What did he do in Miami? Nothing.
No.
He chose Dante Culpepper over Drew Brees.
Yeah. And I know the other gentleman, I respect his opinion, but you also got to remember about trying to bring Rex here. When Rex inherited a great team.
That's true.
He started losing. He brings in John Connor because he likes it the way he hits. His drafts were horrible with Itzik.
Kyle Wilson.
Terminator.
Okay. Always a defensive guy in the first round.
Kyle
Drafting was not his forte.
Was it D. Milliner?
D. Milliner. That was a forced. That was a forced pick because that was the year
Revis got traded.
The trader, he went free agency or something like that.
He was traded to the Buccaneers.
Traded him to Tampa.
Okay. So that was one of those we had to fill in.
Kyle Wilson there. Who else was there? Was it Vernon Golston?
No, Vernon Golston was actually under Tannenbaum and Minji.
He wasn't okay. He was under
but again, like the whole I totally. That's when we talk about the word. when we talk,
that was
Vernon Copels.
When we talk about
the safety, his safety. What the hell's his name? They took the safety over Brandon. Brandon Cooks went one pick ahead of him.
Calvin
Pryor.
The Louisville Slugger.
But I was going to say, when talking, I know Afram brings up Woody Johnson mailing. That is honestly a move I could see the Jets making after Rodgers, just to bring back some hype into some money to the fan base, Rex Ryan. But that would not work with me.
No. He would need someone who knows talent to be there. As far as what's his name? Who was the other one we just talked about? Vernon Golston. Golston was just a bust. He was just a gym rat. But everybody projected him to go into that
top
top
10,
three.
top 5.
Yeah, you know, and the draft is a hit and miss. Let's be
Yes,
honest. There's
capture.
guys that make it, guys that don't. Not everyone hits on every pick.
Zach Wilson, number 2 pick.
Yeah, they
Brock
praise
Purdy,
him for
last pick of the NFL
You
draft.
know,
athletic ability, throwing off script. It never translates.
the problem is the trend was to just throw the rookie in and take over instead of sitting them down like they usually do. Let them sit and behind the veteran quarterback and learn.
That should have done. You're right.
Yeah,
You're
but the
absolutely
trend
right.
was other guys were thrown in and they succeeded. Okay. Does it work? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And you ruin kids' careers that way too. Yeah.
I mean, I think of the
Look at
best
Mahomes. He
quarterback.
sat his rookie season behind Alex Smith.
Blair Thomas.
Who's that? Armin?
Mahomes, when he got drafted,
Yeah.
he sat behind Alex Smith his rookie season.
Exactly.
And then from year 2 on, they've run the table.
Well,
Of course. And then
And,
there's
Mahomes was next because that's always the big what if. If Mahomes played his rookie season, maybe they have another Super Bowl his rookie season instead of being. And Mahomes has stated, I needed to sit my rookie season.
one of the guys
couldn't
we're
read
watching.
a playbook. I couldn't read a defense.
Armin, one of the guys we're watching right now, Lamar Jackson, sat behind Joe Flacco. Josh Allen also sat behind a veteran. I know Josh Allen's a very controversial quarterback because he's great
Yeah, but
talent.
didn't Josh Allen come in his rookie season at the end of the season when the season
No,
was
no, I'm saying
basically
he had time.
over?
He had a little bit.
No,
of time. It's the point.
It comes down to does the quarterback have it? If they could play, then you start them right away. If they don't, they can't, then you have to sit them. But you also got to bring in the correct veteran to help them
Of course,
to help
and
them learn.
The Jets did not do that with Zach Wilson.
And there's a
Well,
lot of
why?
veteran quarterbacks. There's a lot of veteran quarterbacks that don't want to help out rookie quarterbacks, even if they're drafted
That's
in the
true.
first round.
Some listen.
Look at Gardner. Like we all agree, they should have brought in a backup Rodgers, like Gardner Minshew.
Right.
Gardner Minshew was not coming here for $4 million. He took $4 million because he had a chance to at least compete for the starting job.
right.
And
Because
sadly,
he-
what happened is Anthony Richardson injured his shoulder
Yeah.
and done for the season. It was going to cost the Jets to bring in a Gardner Minshew $8 to $10 million to hold the clipboard. And that's
To be
probably
the
what it's
third-
going to cost to
be
bring
the
in a
third-
Ryan
The
Tannehill
third,
next
the
season.
third option. The third option is quarterback because you made Zach Wilson number 2
Of course.
instead of
yeah.
having him the 3. So who makes that decision?
Woody.
No, I don't think it. As much as I dislike Woody, I don't think he would.
Joe
anoint
Douglas,
Zach
because that's his
I-
pick. He's being
I
stubborn with
think
it.
it would be most likely Joe Douglas. I just my personal opinion. I know Woody's a meddler and I know all that, but
It's a big
I think-
meddler.
Oh yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
like if we talk about money, I know Afrin brings up the point like always. You think that Woody Johnson basically wanted to keep Zach Wilson as the backup quarterback too, and have him start during the season. That's why they didn't sign a quarterback even during the season. But like what potential value money wise? We always think of Woody in the money. What value money wise would he get out of starting Zach Wilson? And if he has a pulse, he would know that Zach Wilson is controversial among his own fan base. Like, what money would he?
So
what
the
possible
money was
money?
he already got the money. He got the money already through season ticket holders, through jersey sales already being sold. He
Because
already
the-
got the money. There
because
was
the
no
two-
reason for them to make the upgrade, whether with the Carson Wentz during the season or prior in the off season. They got the money. Case in point.
You're not going to know the story until these guys get fired, and
Of course,
then it starts leaking.
of course.
And there's a book out in the 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, not even. Depends on who gets fired along with them.
Should we get a quarterback in the draft and have? Yes and no. Like, if you want to draft a quarterback in the third round, like a Joe Milton or a Jordan Travis, if he's available, go right ahead. A first-round quarterback, I just don't see it. I mean, again, we were just talking about the great idea of having a rookie quarterback sit behind Aaron Rodgers or whoever. But this year or next year, you can draft one in the mid-rounds this year, or if Rodgers the year after next retires, you could put him in the first. You could draft a quarterback in the first round.
Minshew is
Here's
still
my
a free agent
question.
next year.
Here's my question: are you paying a ton of money for a backup quarterback like a Tannehill or a Gardner Minshew? Because
Why
then
not?
you're
You
going to have
pay-
to get a lot of young offensive linemen in the
Hey,
draft.
Cook $7 million, $8 million.
Yeah, you give him a
True.
1-year deal.
That's true.
The value is going to go up anyway for a backup
Yeah.
QB. Look how many QBs got
I
hurt.
don't. That's what I'm saying. I think they would
Like,
have paid it.
we
if
got to
it
look
was-
at how
it
they're
was
going to
for
use their
the-
money.
They would have paid it if it was for the backup to Rodgers, not for a third stringer.
True. Wilson's a goner. We could have drafted Josh Allen.
We
Lamar
could have
Jackson.
drafted 150th. Every team could have drafted somebody
That
else.
was that. I
That's-
will
that's-
say that's kind of like revisionist history kind of thing because like
You could
Darnold
even
was
say,
the
like,
Darnold was the number one overall pick, but they took Mayfield, and then he ended
Exactly.
up
Yeah,
going three.
I'm not going to go back on that. That's a
It's just
shot
the-
of
you
revision.
could look back at the 2017 draft.
There were a
Look
lot
at
of
the
people who were
first
hoping
three-
that Rosen would be picked by the Jets.
Yeah, that's true.
Look
Everybody
at
was
the
evaluating
top three
Mayfield.
picks of the 2017 draft: Myles Garrett, Mitchell Trubisky, Solomon Thomas. Cleveland, Chicago, San Francisco. And what happened in that class? Patrick Mahomes fell down to number 10. The Buffalo Bills had the 10th pick and they traded down. They waited to get Josh Allen. They could have had Patrick Mahomes. They could have what Kansas City's having right now if they took Mahomes. We could look at, like you said, Afram, we could look back at revisionist history through every draft, through every quarterback that was not taken within the top 5 that's become a Super Bowl franchise quarterback or champion. Every team could get blamed.
This discussion we're having, I guarantee, is being had by every other fan of every team out there.
No,
Yeah.
it's
It's-
definitely
We're always going to talk about our own team.
no, it's definitely true. But like
You
difference
think
between
Browns
the
fans
Dol-
want Deshaun Watson because of $250 million? They
No.
could have taken Watson in 2017.
No,
They could have drafted him.
knowing
They
knowing
chose
what I
Myles
know
Garrett.
now,
We
No.
talk Heckenberg.
there'd be
Right.
a lot more
There's-
massage
I mean-
parlors opening up in New York for that man. But
yeah. There's like all sorts, but the difference between the Darnold argument and the McDonald argument is the Darnold argument. The Jets had to take a quarterback. They
Oh,
had
yeah.
to. He was there. He was the pick. They just
They
didn't
traded
develop.
up.
They
traded
didn't
up.
develop
They
him.
chose-
They did,
But they, like a lot of other teams, decided to go with the 2018 class because that class was highly regarded.
yes,
They decided to stick for Sam because they chose Jamal Adams.
right. They did that, and look, however that
safeties,
played out.
yeah.
But what I will say is this: the Jets had the option to trade up for Roderick Jones or somebody, and I get it. He's not, he's doing whatever he's doing with the Steelers, but at least
pretty good.
that's a better alternative to Mekhi Becton, who you knew was 3 years injury prone. So I'll take.
I would have been cool with them reaching for an offensive lineman instead of taking Will McDonald.
I would too.
We could
I
have
would
killed them and
traded
said
down.
they've reached, but at least it's a position of need. Or
Yeah.
I agree, Afram, they should have traded down, and the only team they should have they had the two options that either trade up with or trade down with was Detroit.
Right.
Because you either trade up at 12 and get Broderick Jones, or you trade down to 18 and maybe you take a JSN or a Jordan Addison, a receiver.
Yeah, but you would get maybe a second round pick.
Even a
And
wide
again,
receiver, I wouldn't even complain because Lazard's garbage and Wilson's the only good receiver we have. Even a wide receiver, I wouldn't have complained. But
Well,
offensive
we
line-
complained about Corey Davis, but we would have loved to
And
have.
Lazard
We
was
all miss him now.
a lot of people, even like myself, I thought Lazard was like, hey, you know what? He's going to be at least somewhat better than Corey Davis, better level contract. But you know what? Corey Davis retires and Lazard becomes garbage.
Mhm.
So we really, I shouldn't say I could be a part of it, but the anti Corey Davis crowd was like, yeah, we kind of miss him now.
Right.
Listen, a lot of it stemmed from day one is this offensive line just couldn't keep. You can't keep anyone protected. The minute you can't drive down the field with this offensive line, everything looks bad. Your tight ends look bad. Your wide receivers look bad. Everybody, the running back looks bad. You just can't do anything. You can't expect one guy like Hall to break free when they're loading up 8 guys in the box.
Of course, you're
You just
absolutely
can't
right.
do it. It's got 11 guys on the team. There's a reason why. Everyone has a job to do.
Right.
And the one play where Zach, I think he called off the run because they were all running
Yeah.
to the left. He decides to hold on to it, and then he gets hammered. But Becton let
He let Chubb
He got
inside, I
beat.
think.
Chubb just made a single move and beat him.
And the problem, I'm just saying the problem was in his rookie year and even in his college tape, he had trouble with speed rushes. But Vinny says a lot of it has to do where you land when you draft it. You go towards the top, you go to a mess, you go towards the back, you're going to go to a team that's close to getting it done. That's true. That's true.
Very true. Have him over Zach Wilson at USC. Darnold was very inconsistent.
Turnovers. Where's problem?
That's why I wouldn't go. Name a good USC quarterback in a while.
That's true.
That's why I think.
Sanchez, Leinart, Darnold.
Yeah, and is this kid Caleb Williams USC?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. We'll see now when the combines all of a sudden a name out of nowhere pops up.
Oh, you're gonna hear a crap ton of news. You're gonna hear Michael Penix rising up. You'll see JJ McCarthy rise up. All these rumors of all these quarterbacks.
Yep. Gardner Minshew is a starter. Basically, I wouldn't mind getting him and having a competition with Zach and say bye bye to Rodgers.
I don't think. I agree with that. I don't think Zach's being here next year.
I don't think it'd be. They'll try to trade him and either absorb it or try to get rid of half his contract, something to that effect. No one's taking $11 million off of that.
Avram, do you think they cut him this week because of what happened today, or do you think they put him on?
No, they don't. They're not going to.
They don't want to.
They just let him end the season that way.
You don't want to set that type of. I'm saying
No,
I'm
you
not
don't.
saying you don't want to set the type of precedent, but they're not going to do. They don't want to set that.
You don't. That'll bother the locker room. You don't do that. You know, they know it's business, but you don't do it in during the season.
The end of the season.
Yeah, you wait till the end of the season when they know shit's going to happen. They know it's a business.
Just wait till the off season at that.
Wait till the off season. They'll
Pretty much.
You know, there'll be somebody that have interest in him to develop. He's still very young, but now it'll force them to get a legitimate backup.
Right.
Right.
But also
that's where a lot of money's going to go, and there's going to be a position that doesn't get money. The pie chart. That quarterbacks. Yeah. You know, are we going to we need multiple offensive linemen. So there, you
that's how I look at it.
You're going to probably use that if you pay a Tannehill, let's just say, probably going to cost you $10 million to back up Rodgers to hold the clipboard.
Well, why wouldn't you go after Minshew?
Minshew's going to cost the same.
So why not?
They're all going to cost the same.
He's younger.
I'm just using Tannehill as an example. Minshew, yes, but they're all going to cost about $10 million.
Yeah.
To come here to back up Rodgers. They're not going to be single digits.
Don't forget, a lot of the guys had restructured contracts this year. I think Carl Lawson might have had his contract restructured.
Yes, he did.
Myers, Jordan White has a couple of void years on him. So it's like as you brought up the money is not going to be as easy as people say. Plus, if you want to bring in Devontae Adams, his cap hit or the salary he's going to be earning is going to be a lot. So
those could all get restructured.
It's true. It's true.
It's been proven. Look at the Saints.
And they've
I
been
do think it's
going to go. Look at
say
the
bye-bye to
Rams.
Bryce Huff. I think Huff's
know.
getting traded for a wide receiver and offensive lineman.
You also got to keep in mind Woody put out $200 million in bonus money to restructure these contracts to give them mostly in the signing bonus.
Bonus.
Yeah.
Quarterback. Talking about Cal QBs not their team being good. I mean, Rodgers is the only one I can think of.
Rodgers is the one exception. I don't remember any good general California quarterbacks outside it. I don't know if he's given up the most sacks this year, but he's given up a lot. I know I've said that in previous weeks that the number could be a bit arbitrary because Zach Wilson does hold on to the ball a little bit, but Becton still struggles with the speed rushers. So
even the run wasn't that good with him either this year.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's done physically at this point. I think he's still hurt at some point.
I mean, he said in the preseason, what was it? It might have been the preseason. Like he said, my knee's not going to be the same. My knee, I'm going to deal with a lot of pain. So
a lot of them do, unfortunately. And they're not going to give his 50 option. So they're just going to they'll probably just get rid of him, Yeah.
He'll probably move to guard for another team.
Nah, I don't think he'll be on the team.
I don't see
not on the Jets. It would on a new team.
Maybe
will probably play well too.
Who knows?
Like the former Giants' first offensive lineman that was a tackle, but then moved to guard when he
Eric
went to
Flowers.
Washington. Eric,
Yeah.
Eric Flowers.
But
and-
listen, it is what it is. Let's hope you finally fix that. Who fixed that with the red box and the
Oh, I did.
yeah, okay.
Listen, I
just
like
enjoy it.
Afram's little tagline. I still have hockey.
Yeah, I still do, yes.
Yes, John
Still.
is wearing the no quit in New York. Armin's
I
doing
got baseball off season. My hockey team sucks, but they deserve it. Old ass
Vote
team.
for
vote
Afram.
Afram for mayor.
Nah,
No, it's not for mayor. It's for president.
president.
Afram's
President
the
Jets.
president. Me, I'm the vice president. You
There
know.
go.
A&A.
Then you got to fill out a cabinet, obviously, but that's down the line.
There we go, right above me.
Yes,
Cal-
John will be the Secretary of Defense.
There you go.
I'll take it. I'll take it. It'll be
No,
a
he'll be
winning
head of
organ-
Secret Service.
It'll be a winning culture. That's all I'm
The
going to say.
Secretary of Defense.
Yeah,
but-
he'll be head of he'll be head of
If nobody
Secret
likes us, we just throw them off a cliff.
That's right. There you go. I like the mantra already.
Cal QB's historically Craig Morton, Joe Ross, Steve Bartkowski,
Jared
Bartkowski,
Goff. I mean,
Aaron Rodgers,
Goff is
Jared Goff.
good.
Jared Goff.
Steve Bartkowski. There's
That's
the-
the
I'm
name I
surprised
ever
with Jacksonville, all that talent, and they're still
Yeah,
we all talked about it this morning. We all picked the Ravens. It's a close game.
heard. Yeah. Joe D sat on his hands a lot this season, fought him for 90% of our failures, says Mel.
I want to say about the Jaguars real quick. It's either their defense gives up a lot of points or their defense plays competitive and they just can't figure it out on offense. I'm not going to say they're a few fluky team. They have their set of good performances, but like you'll count on them to have at least one stinker like this where they're locked in a game like this.
I'm surprised because they have
Do
good.
you
They have a
think
lot of good
Lawrence
players on
is still
defense.
hurt? Like Lawrence's injury is probably affecting him tonight.
That's probably true. That's probably true. I mean, Afram just brought up the defensive players. Josh Allen is one of them.
Why is this guy taking
Trayvon
the?
Walker.
Why is he taking the snap out of the end zone?
He's standing at the back of the end zone.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there you go. Move up. There you go. There you go. I've had the game on the whole time. It's been.
I don't know if it was a trick play or not.
Well, there really no trick really there.
Did you see that end of the first half? You fumbled the ball and then
Yeah, Lawrence fumbled the ball. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. But
Let's talk about baseball. Let's just talk about baseball.
what's up with Sox?
Well, we Sox. What's up, man? It's been a while. We're
who gets
definitely.
that pitcher?
What happened?
Who's going to get that Japanese pitcher? Yamamoto.
You know, me and Mr. Armin down here have been praying for him to come to the Mets, and the two gentlemen on my left and right have been praying he's a Yankee.
Actually,
Now-
you're a Yankee fan or a Met fan?
I'm a Yankee fan.
He's
but
a Yankee fan.
There's too
So,
many. There's too many teams
I-
involved right now. That's not what
So I
worries
have
me.
I have a question for the three Yankee fans.
Okay.
Yous get Yamamoto. You ready to say goodbye to Soto? Because you know that contract's Hal's not gonna put out
He's-
another.
I don't foresee. Believe me, I don't foresee him staying after this 1 year. He's going to do one of those Satani moves, and he's going to go whoever gives him the biggest contract. He would have signed a long. He already said he's not signing.
He's a Boris client.
The
so they
issue-
can sign extensions.
The issue is the one name that is the issue for the Yankees is Giancarlo Stanton. They should have got out of his contract because now he's making more than $300 million. Well, I mean, not in season, but total for that contract. And
And
he
this
is
is the
going
last year
to
the
be a-
Marlins send the Yankees.
Can't they
money
buy
for
him
it.
out?
They
I'm
have
sorry?
not. He's still on the team, Afram.
But can't they buy him out if they wanted to?
It's fully guaranteed.
look at
It'd
that.
still be on the
That-
payroll.
That might be what they have to do.
But it'd still be on their payroll. They would still
Can you restructure baseball contracts
I don't think so.
to do like a
No.
Bobby Bonilla move?
You mean like a
mean-
deferred payment?
Yeah,
They might have to.
I don't know. Are you allowed to once the contract? I don't know with baseball.
I don't know. I have to look that up actually. But
It's
not
Jemiah
common.
asked-
When the
Jemiah,
Yankees, I was gonna say real quick,
man.
when the Yankees can buy out Stanton, that's in 2028.
so they're kind of screwed.
There's-
Uh-huh.
They're kind of screwed because they have Judge making over $300 million, They have
Cole.
Cole,
Rodon?
Stanton.
Rodon's
Rodon.
160.
Contract awful.
160.
He's 160, but I'll answer.
It's still a big contract, but you got LeMahieu still on the books
Oh
for the
my.
next.
right.
You're wasting years now.
Jemiah, love
With-
to answer your question because I actually made a video on this, and I'm going to give Cohen a pass for this one because simply the fact it is not a strong free agent market out there to begin with. A lot of mid free agency that is going to get overpaid like hell. So even if they missed out on Yamamoto, the only one starter I would really love and covet right now is Jordan Montgomery. But other than that,
Yankee,
Did you
former
see?
Yankee.
But
he's good.
But Montgomery, the contract he's looking for the Rodon contract.
But he's actually good.
And I don't
Like
think-
he had consistently good seasons. Rodon had one plus a forearm injury, which is why I don't think he's going to bounce back for you guys. I see Nestor Cortez bouncing back, but that's a different story for another day. But I don't think it's a very strong free agent class. Plus,
We agree there.
I don't think they're acting like a small market team because if you read the reports, especially in recent reports, not only did they go and fly out to Yamamoto, as if you believe these signs of the Yanks, wait and see. Yamamoto personally wanted to have a meeting with the Mets. That has been reported by multiple reporters. He personally saw it out, and he also, it is not true, any of those reports that said he doesn't want to play with any Japanese players back then, because I know that was what he actually would be open to that idea. And at the meetings, him and Kodai Senga have talked and seem to, that has been a key recruitment for the Mets by having Senga there. So that is just some news.
It's even a recruitment for the Dodgers. They had Ohtani meet with Yamamoto, with Mookie
That's
and
smart of
Freddie.
them. That's very smart of them.
So
Very
he has
smart.
met with 7. He's met with the Mets, the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Red Sox,
The Giants.
the Giants.
The Phillies.
I think the Phillies, and I think he's going to meet with Toronto because Toronto is looking to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Well, hold on.
Toronto could be waiting off to see with Cody Bellinger, who now, according to reports, he's looking for a $200 million contract.
He is. And I want to answer Jemiah's next comment. He says, you were right, the free agent class isn't the best, but they've done nothing yet. But hold on. David Stearns is best. What was he known best for in Milwaukee? Getting the best ounce of baseball out of guys that either were not regarded highly or needed fixing. And he did a lot, especially with the pitchers. He made so many relievers an all-star. You could literally go look through his track record and see how many guys were. I think Corey Knebel was a freaking all-star for him at one point.
Yes.
Well, Nabel was developed by them, if I'm not mistaken. But
He was
made,
also
I think
developed by them.
he made Wade Miley look somewhat good.
Yeah. So, again, they also
And-
have a new pitching lab. Maybe they do something with Luis Severino. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. I'm not saying that happens. But I can imagine if he signs a bunch of these guys, right, you got to see they might develop into something or regain their old form.
And after the Mets season ended in June, they did not put out quality depth players last season to finish out the season. This is helping them have a strong beginning of the season with the quality depth signings they're having right now
I think this is
to
personally
be competitive.
right.
And
I
right
think-
now, they're big. And if you want to look, the Dodgers, the past 2 years, they're not spending big money because they saved up for Ohtani this season.
Yep.
That's
So
right.
it would be smart for the Mets, if they miss out on Yamamoto, to not spend big money on a Snell, on a Montgomery, is to save the big money for next offseason because that's where the pitching free agent class is loaded between Bieber, Burns, Wheeler.
I mean, first, I wouldn't touch Shane Bieber. Corbin Burns, yes.
You got Soto that's possibly going to be out there. That's going to be a big ticket item. That's why I also think we're going to get a Kevin Kiermaier or a Michael Taylor. We're looking at 1-year deal type of outfielders. They don't want to sign a long-term guy for the outfield now because you also got Marte on the books for the next 2 years. still, so they're not going to buy him out unless he really just is injured and they just decide to do the Cano thing.
So what you're telling me is basically it's going to be evaluative year for the Mets.
At this point,
Yes.
I think so, and I don't
You're
think
also
they're
looking at
punching.
your kids too. You got Vientos, you have Beatty.
I don't, and I'm not saying that's punt. The Mets won 75 games. They get another starter in there, could win 80 to 85 games to make the playoffs, as we've seen teams do it. So it doesn't necessarily mean they're punting. I don't think they're going to buy all in. And here's what, and I explained this very well in my video. Here's what I don't understand. Right. Every criticism of the Mets was they spent all that money in baseball last year, and they went nowhere. Now they're being patient, but yet Steve Cohen is getting attacked like he's the next Wilpon out there.
So
It makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, you're saying essentially that he can't win with some people. But I'll tell you this, Max Scherzer's hurt right now, and he's not going to start the season. You guys traded him and some money, and you got Luis Angel Acuna. Now you have a future prospect for a guy who isn't potentially going to be in your future.
But hold up, to Jacob's comments about Chaim Bloom, right? Here's the one thing where that doesn't apply here, because they've been in on Yamamoto this whole time. It might have not been reported right away, but they were actually the first to go meet him. Steve Cohen got his ass on the plane to fly out there to go meet him with David Stearns. So they're not. That's not acting like a small market team.
No, I was gonna say Milwaukee was a very cheap organization. That's why Stearns couldn't spend money.
They were.
Yes.
And you can't
And
just go
David Stearns
spending
and
like a
Right.
drunken sailor just
Right.
because you have the money either.
Right.
That's,
they did that
everyone
last
thinks
year.
that's what's going to happen.
And they
I got
failed.
all this money. I'll sign everybody.
They failed last year by doing
Yeah.
that. Everyone they signed last year, except Kodai Senga, pretty much almost flopped. Him and maybe
John
half
knows
the
this
season
with
Tommy
me.
Pham. Go ahead, Armin.
And John knows this with me. If the Wilpons still own this team, there's no Scherzer here. There's no Acuna in our system. There's no Verlander here. There's no Clifford and Gilbert in our system. DeGrom is traded before he leaves for Texas. Nimmo is gone. Pete's probably traded already. Lindor's like
We never get Lindor.
like
No.
No, not with
there's
him.
no money ever spent with the Wilpons.
Exactly. Which you guys can learn about in the
Stearns
video I
is
made.
probably not even here. Stearns is not even here.
Probably. Jemiah says right now they have Senga and the lefty.
I think he's talking about
Quintana. Yeah, Quintana's a very good. He's a good mid.
Right now we
rotation
have three
starter.
starters on the. Right now we have three starters: Senga, Quintana, and Severino. They're going to go a lot of one-year deals if they don't land Yamamoto. They're going to go one-year deal type of pitchers.
Yeah, I
And I'm
wouldn't
okay
be.
with it. Saves the big money. Follow what the Dodgers did the past 2 years. Save the money for Soto and one of the big-time pitchers in free agency next season.
I wouldn't mind if they
If you
went
don't
after-
land Yamamoto. That's if you don't land Yamamoto.
I know. I wouldn't mind them going after Montgomery. I wouldn't be shocked if they gave, let's say they signed Yamamoto. I wouldn't be shocked if they said, Lucas Giolito, you want to be here 1 year? Sure.
That'd be a fourth starter. That's not terrible.
That's
One-year contract.
they're gonna try and get the best upside guys. And I like what Cohen did at the deadline by getting all these prospects. Mets have the Bleacher Report came out that article. They had the fourth ranked prospect system, and they don't even have the best pitching prospects.
Who's the guy you got from Houston? Drew Gilbert?
Drew Gilbert and
Clifford.
Ryan Clifford. All I'm saying is that the risk everyone and their mother thought Boston made on an A+ signing with Bloom, and look where it got them. My worry with small market guys. You got to see that. But
also,
at least
just to you
go ahead,
John.
Go ahead. I was saying that at least Stearns has been there
was
before.
forced
He's
to
done
trade
it.
Mookie. Bloom was forced to trade Mookie because Boston's ownership did not want to pay Mookie. They didn't want to. They didn't want to pay Bogarts last year. They let Bogarts walk. The only reason why they gave Rafael Devers an extension was every Red Sox fan on social media killed him. The reporters and on MLB Network killed him. Red Sox YouTubers killed him. Case in point, Jared Carrabis killed him, started calling them cheap. They basically got forced to re-sign Devers, or Devers would be a free agent this season.
Yep.
You're right.
So Bloom was given Yes, he didn't do the best with them, but he also ownership got in the way for him.
I don't think he did an awful job personally, but what do I know?
But when ownership gets in the way, somebody's getting fired, and it can't be ownership.
Yep. Somebody's got to be the scapegoat. But
So-
Who's our starting pitching staff there, Luca, Alex?
the Sox.
Alex, who do you think is going to be the starting pitching staff?
Oh, for the Yanks?
We know Cole,
Yeah, Cole,
Rodon.
Cortez,
Nestor.
Rodon, Clark Schmidt,
Hopefully Yamamoto.
and then one more. Whoever that may be. I don't think it's to be Heel, though. They might sign up cheap backup, though.
Dick
Like
Mountain.
Rich Hill.
No. He
He's
had his time.
43 years old.
He had his time in a Yankee uniform. Probably
He had his
somebody
time in a
with-
Mets uniform too.
Probably like not
He's
Lugo.
incredibly brief. I would say.
Hey, I'll take
the Yankees had Dick Mann.
Dick Mountain again. I need a Dick on the Mets rotation.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think because I had like a list of pitchers. Clayton
There's one-
Beater, maybe.
Clayton Beater, maybe.
There's one more because I was discussing cheap pitchers in the Soto video, and I know Waka's gone, Lugo's gone.
Let me look that up for you.
There's like
Did we
one
trade
more.
Glaber?
I have the starting pitcher list here on my computer. I'm let's see. It really is not Zach Davies,
No,
Eric Lauer, former Brewer. I could see
No.
the Mets going after him. He has a connection to Stearns, 28
Yeah,
years
but
old.
I don't want him.
You could go back to Frankie Montas.
no.
Oh,
You guys can take him.
Yankees could bring Michael
Who?
Michael Lorenzen. Michael
I would
Lorenzen
take him as a fifth starter.
for
Oh.
either the Mets or Yankees on a 1-year deal. He's possible.
I would take him as a fifth starter.
Giolito.
Fifth
You,
starter.
you're
I'd
you're
be
looking
okay
at
with that as
Martin
back-end
Perez.
but real quick, I want to
Well-
answer Afram's question. If you can trade my Glaber Torres for a Miami starter, yeah, I would do that. I think if Glaber goes, it's for a starting pitcher because I realistically don't think he's a long-term answer for the Yankees.
Maybe Luzardo you get.
But
Although
Miami
that's
already
three,
has a
that's
second
three
baseman
lefties in your rotation.
in Luis Ariz.
What happened?
And Miami already has a second baseman. Where are they going to put Ariz? His batting,
Right.
the way he hits offensively, fits the second baseman. You put him at first base, his offense, while it's going to be good, doesn't fit a first baseman's historical statistically. And
You could trade him
does
with
Miami
Seattle.
really want to trade one of their controllable pitchers for a 1-year rental? Or a
Do you
half a year
trade-
rental? Because if they're not,
Oh, I forgot about the
because
other
if they're not
Japanese
in the
guy,
playoff
Shota
race, they're going to
Imanga.
trade Gleiber.
There's a Mongo. You could also maybe trade for Marco Gonzalez.
No. Marco Gonzalez is on the Pirates now. I think he'll stay there. But somebody that's been
Yes.
mentioned in trade talks, Bryce Miller,
Oh, from the
the Mariners.
Mariners. He's a one of their top prospects. That's
He's somebody I might take a chance on.
I would.
Trade Glaber Torres for Bryce Miller at the back end of the rotation. I would not mind that.
Yeah, I would do that.
But
just
look
in
at what
terms-
Seattle's doing. They're cutting down payroll. They even did not even be in on the Otani sweepstakes.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
Torres is a free agent after this year, so
Mhm.
who knows?
Yeah, you could probably debate with yourself about that. Yeah, we saw Turner's talking to the Mets.
Oh, I got one for Luca and Alex. John, you're gonna love this answer. They're gonna hate me for saying this.
Oh, don't say that.
Marcus Stroman
Get the fuck out.
for
Absolutely
the
not.
Yankees.
Absolutely. He would be hated in New York. That dude
He already
cannot
is.
trap shut. He's hated by Met fans. He's hated by Yankee fans. Yankees fans would be
Hi.
pissed if they signed Marcus.
Hyunjin Ryu.
And no.
You know what? I thought he was good in Toronto.
Hyunjin Ryu, another lefty.
I thought he was good in Toronto before injury, but he's another lefty. But again, he's also injury prone. That would be a typical Brian Cashman move. Signing an injury.
Here's one that you could take a 1-year flyer on. I know he has the legal thing. We have to see if he's going to get charged. Julio Urias. There's no qualifying on him.
No, I
He has
wouldn't
the
even
legal thing. You
touch
got to
him.
see. You have to
The
see
guy-
if he's going to get charged. Obviously, if he gets charged, because
That'd
the
be
team
such
is
a
going to
bad
take a
move.
chance on him.
That they shouldn't. I hate
Mike
I hate when
Clevenger?
players-
He had a domestic thing last year and got in
Yeah,
trouble.
he's an asshole and he sucks.
Clevenger. Oof, no.
It's
A couple
true.
of years ago, I would have said yes. Not now.
Alex
watched-
Wood, Sean Mania.
No and no.
Sean Mania.
Like
Alex Wood.
Danny
Yeah.
Wood,
Duffy,
I would,
Spencer
Danny
Turnbull,
Yes. I'll take a chance on him.
James Caprillion, former A, and I
No.
believe former Yankee prospect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was traded for Sonny Gray. Great trade that was.
Hey, Sonny,
Like,
Sonny
there's
Gray
not,
was a free
like-
agent. That was the Cardinals.
Noah Syndergaard. Yankee fans, come get some.
Ah, you
Where
said
is he
it's
now?
not going to be the
In
same.
Texas?
He's a free
What happened?
agent. He got DFA'd by
Free-
Cleveland last year.
Oh,
He was
He needs to, in all honesty, Afram, he needs to go to the bullpen. His stuff worked out of the bullpen more than being a starter.
yeah.
His stuff,
I think
he probably could get you an inning and a half.
he started doing the weightlifting, and that got him, I think, tightened him up too much, and it let his arm take the flexibility. The minute he started hitting that gym and try to be a real four,
Here's another free agent from overseas that's not posted, but he's a free agent. Yariel Rodriguez. He's 26. He's right-handed. He played
I've heard
with the
good
Dragons in overseas. He might cost you a 3-year deal.
yeah, I mean, I've heard good things about him.
He's
so
somebody I listen. There's no posting fee for him. Like he's somebody the Mets should look at because of age at 26.
Yeah.
but
You also got the other guy that's posted from Japan. The one that
manga.
the one
Not him.
I
Sasaki?
shared with you guys in the group chat from earlier.
Matsui.
No, that's next year.
Sasaki.
No, Matsui's for the bullpen. This one's a starter. You was Sasawi. Sasaki's next season. That's the guy I would
Yeah.
spend money on for next season too.
Sasaki. Yeah, but with that being said, I think we can start closing it out here. Afram,
Yeah.
I'll start with you for your final thoughts.
looking forward to the draft. That's all I got at this point. Yeah, what else we're gonna do? You know, we're out of the playoffs, out of that contention. Just 3 more games to deal with, and
A lot of draft content.
then just wait to see what teams you want to lose in the playoffs that you hate.
It's true. It's true. Armand.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy
Oh yeah,
New
Merry
Year.
Christmas, Happy Holidays, and you.
Baseball off season, because God knows the Jets suck. My Penguins are as old as Afram, the oldest team in the league. You know, and every Penguin fan on Penn's Twitter kissed my ass for cheering the fact that they snapped a 0-for-7 power play streak against the Arizona Coyotes. Fucking pathetic. Sullivan needs to go. But it gave me a hell of a run since 2006, Pittsburgh, the only team that's given me championships. So I'm writing it out with you, grandpas, because I'm an old fuck as well.
True fan.
Yes.
Luca.
My final thoughts. Great call-in show. Obviously, to have these 2 gentlemen below us, Armand and Afram, and
No,
also
thank
the other
you,
callers
thank
as
you.
well. Armand is the Godfather. But can't wait for tomorrow, final show of the 2023 calendar year. A lot of stuff coming up. But thank you all for your support.
John.
Anytime. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Afram.
Thank you all for all the phenomenal, not anyone who just joined the show, but to call in, obviously our great guest, but everyone that joined the chat. Really a fun call-in show tonight. Couldn't do it without you guys, especially if you're new here. Make sure to sub, hit the like button, and share us out if you can. Guys, we got our final show tomorrow, right? We're not going to be talking about football, I'll tell you that much. We got baseball off season, and I know the Knicks play tomorrow night, so maybe we'll preview a little bit of that.
We'll have to do a film session on their 3-point defense that is fucking.
Yeah, we'll get into that tomorrow. I'll definitely be texting Luca. But how about those Rangers yesterday, fucking taking it to that scumbag organization known as the Boston Bruins? But yeah, we also got baseball off season. Again, I've said it about a million times today. This man to my right and the panel's left made a Yankee video of Jordan Hicks. Please go check that out. I made a Mets video with Steve Cohen in the direction. Please go check it out. But I'll let Alex close it up.
Just before you go, like the guy in the wheelchair looked a lot better than Milbury in that yesterday.
I saw that in the beginning.
I thought Milbury's going to collapse on the ice any second.
Yeah, he was also holding a shoe. Like, yeah, so cool.
But we appreciate you guys for coming out tomorrow. It'll be 8:10 p.m. Boys in the Big Apple will be me, myself, Jesus Christ. Me, John, Luca, and Brian. Big announcement coming at around 8:30 tomorrow, impacting the 2024 channel content, which is very good for us. It's a big step. But of course, we couldn't be able to do it without you guys. We're about 20 subs away from 1,700, which eventual goal is 2,000 and beyond. But we appreciate you guys, and we will see you tomorrow night. Peace out.
Yamamoto gets a decision on Thursday.